Unmuted.
Muting. Hi
Giving us-
everyone, it's us. We're live. Hello. Welcome to. Oh my gosh, been waiting so long for this mouse card. So excited to play this game and be these awesome mice on guard with all these cool people. So really quick, I'm gonna say hi. My name is Jess. Thank you so much for being here. This is my channel. And today I get to play slightly changed, just adjusted to Quinn. So I am playing Quinn from Spruce Tuck. I am a patrol guard, and my fur color is amber, and my cloak is a fiery red. So next we will go and say hi to Danielle. Hi.
Hello, I'm Danielle at Raconteur on Twitter and Twitch. And today, I use she, her pronouns, and so does my lovely mouse, whose name is Danny, which is extremely close to mine. I am a patrol leader, originally from Spruce Tuck. My fur color is brown, and my cloak color is white.
Cool. Then it goes to me. Hi, I'm Eric. I am playing the Game Master, aka everything else in the world. I have he, they pronouns, and I'm super excited to bring the world of Mouse Guard alive. This is one of my favorite systems. And this is one of my favorite adventures, so we're doing a little Vulgaris classic. All right, so I really hope you all are ready for some cute yet very powerful storytelling today.
And thank you, Eric, so much for coming on to run this for us. It was very kind of you. For any of you that don't know this story, pleasure. Eric and I were on a panel and we got asked the question, what's something that you've always wanted to play, never gotten to play? And I said Mouse Guard, and Eric was like, so when am I running that for you?
Yeah.
Basically.
No, hand on my heart, every game suggested about games to be running, I had to speak up because I only brought about 5 games with me, and every single one of those was one of the 5 games that I brought. It was like The King is Dead, Mouse Guard, Fall of Magic. Like, they were all games that for the Queen, they were all games that I brought with me in my bag with like the 5 games that I have. So it was just remarkable. I love it. It's a good story.
Very, very good. Perfect. And Nicholas.
Yeah, hi. I'm Nicholas, and I will them. Light brown mouse from Barkstone has the rank of guard mouse, and the cloak they wear is autumn orange.
Nice.
All right. And my name is Sharon. You can find me with @chu_baka on Twitter. I use she, her pronouns, same as my mouse, Baron. My character is from Elmos. She's got brown fur. She's a guard mouse, and her cloak is gold.
Beautiful. Okay. So we're going to play some Mouse Guard today. Mouse Guard is an adorable looking game, but it can carry some pretty heavy themes. And this is personally one of my all-time favorite systems that I've ever played, and I've played a lot, okay? So I really hope you all will enjoy this one. And we start every session of Mouse Guard with sort of getting the mission. Because big part of this game overall is that rather than being sort of like an open-ended kind of game, each session sort of represents sort of like a little volume of the comic. If you haven't read the comics, they are based on the Mouse Guard comics by David Peterson. I get there's different Petersons, whatever. Anyways, this mission in particular is a custom one that I've made, that I've sort of adapted for running for everybody, and I'm really excited for it. And just real quick, just as a go over everybody. Okay, and part of the mission is going to be sort of me dictating, kind of like, hey, when you turn the page, is kind of what's going to happen, and I kind of hold the spotlight at the start. But then the latter half of the game is you all have control and do things. So the first thing I wanted to talk about, because we haven't really talked anything about mechanics of the game, which is totally fine. We'll talk about it as they come up. This is the first time they're going to come up, and that is each of you has this little red token next to your character at the bottom on this sheet, and that's your player check. What you're going to do is when we get to the player's turn, you're able to cash that check in to basically do an action and take the spotlight for yourself. and do something that you want to focus on. Typically, you do that to either finish a part of the mission that you think is important to you, or do something that will let you highlight either your character's beliefs or accomplish their goal. Really important for you to do that, then you can spend that check that way. There will be opportunities during the part of the game, the GM turn checks, and the big way to do is that you can use things against yourself, which I'll talk about later. But the idea is that if you make things more difficult for yourself, you can have an opportunity to earn a check. Okay. So anyways, here's the synopsis for the mission. So grand capital of all the Mouse Guard territories. I say capital with parentheses because the territories are not actually one single unit. It's more like a confederation. However, the center piece of it is the sort of stronghold that if anything happened, everyone across the territories would be running to, because that's the head of all of the Mouse Guard, which are sort of your ranger, mailmen, park rangers, everybody who does anything soldier type of the territories. You patrol, you have fought things, but the most important thing you've ever done, and the thing that keeps everyone safe, is that there's a sort of border around the territories called the scent border. Concoction from one of the city's Forest Musketeers. Thank you, Robin. Thank you, Nicholas. Yeah, Forest Musketeers is correct. So the scent border, right? This city called Spruce Tuck, that some of you are from, they have a bunch of special scientists, and there's a secret alchemical formula that's used to sort of mask the smell of mice that stops other creatures from finding this territory. And the Mouse Guard are the only ones who know that secret and are responsible for keeping this sort of border up. And it has to be refreshed every year. So during springtime, that's usually a major mission is going out there with these giant barrels and kind of just spraying down this stuff to protect the territories. That's sort of all of the lore that you need to know. Now that here's the proper mission, right? So we're in Lockhaven, and Gwendolyn, the 54th matriarch, because there's always a matriarch that runs the Mouse Guard, has tasked this group with a special mission. You will be escorting a new queen bee, a princess bee for the time being, to another town. So you're taking one of Lockhaven's princesses from their apiary, their prestigious apiary, and delivering it to Doris, her name, the founder and mayor of Dorigift, a small little hamlet. And if we look all the way down on the map, it's all the way down there, right below the blue dice. So this is going to be where we're not going to be spending it every day. And we're not doing like a Tomb of Annihilation hex crawl or anything like that. But just to give you a scope of this sort of journey. So this is going to take up all of y'all's early or mid to late springtime, which again is sort of like a high. That's usually when the most important missions are going on, and y'all are being tasked with delivering a bee. So the first question I have for our group here is I'm going to ask our patrol leader about being assigned a mission that maybe isn't as important as, for example, delivering more scent to the scent border or doing patrol. Is this something you're looking forward to? Because maybe it takes you closer to Spruce Tuck along the way, and getting to see your family or friends around, or is this something that you feel that you're like, oh, busy work, this is nowhere going to get me promoted or anything like that? Like, how do you think you would feel about getting a mission like this?
I think, yeah, so it is definitely very close to Spruce Tuck, which is home. So even Danny would definitely be excited to be able to maybe swing by and see some family, if time allows. But I think Danny takes being in the Mouse Guard pretty seriously. And so any mission that comes from the matriarch is to be treated with as much importance as the next one.
Okay, cool. The rest of the group, how do you feel about this? So imagine, if you would, like, this is the time when the patrol leader has just sort of returned. So Danny's returned from sort of like the private one-on-one time with Gwendolyn, right? And has sort of given you the instructions here that we're all going to be going to the apiary, getting a bee, getting a cart, right? Like a hand cart, like a hand wheelbarrow with a sort of like, imagine sort of a wooden cage with this queen bee in it that you're all going to be hauling through the mud and stuff for weeks down to Dorigift. Does that sound like an exciting mission to up and coming Mouse Guard, or are you all just whatever the orders are, or how do you all kind of feel about it?
you just said it's not prestigious, but we're literally carding a princess. That seems important. Like, it's not.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like we could.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Are any of you particularly martially inclined? Because this is no chance to show off your panache, right? This is being
really?
delivery people, right?
Oh yeah. Okay. So that's
So
yeah.
you know what I mean? It depends.
think-
It depends on your mouse views what they like to do, right?
That's true. That's true. Yeah, because I think from what I've looked at on the sheet, my character is kind of like a scout. They really like exploring. So if this is like we're walking along a road with a cart to deliver a thing, that's kind of the antithesis of like a lot of what they enjoy. But like you said, I think they would attempt. I think she would attempt to put somewhat of a pleasant spin on it because. She's also from Spruce Tuck, so we are going close to home. And we're moving along a princess. At least that's a story to tell. But everything else about it is probably kind of.
Yeah. You the one who gets to share in the duties of hauling this this bee. Imagine, we're all the size of like real life mice here, and the territories represent kind of like maybe what Michigan or like upper Toronto, Canada kind of territories are. So think of like that sort of environment. There's no people or anything like that when I say that, but just in terms of the ecology of everything. Is this something that, is the patrol leader going to be part of the shift of hauling this guy, or is this sort of, do you deliberate this, or like how does this begin to break down in terms of the party dynamics here of hauling this mouse or hauling this bee?
I think Danny would definitely set like a schedule and take a turn.
Yeah. So you're going to be part of like the leading group of, you lead from the front and not like from, okay, cool. Like a real leader. Interesting. Great.
I think that Baron would definitely, one of her traits is that she's compassionate, or is that she's protective, and also she's watchful. And I think she would be like, oh boy, this is definitely up my alley, and I'm going to do like the absolute best job I can. And, kind of be a little bit of a kiss ass too at the same time, because she's kind of young in the guard and she's still trying to work her way up.
Exactly, right. So would anyone like think they would maybe volunteer to be like, oh, don't worry, I'll take extra shifts to carry this bee? Or it sounds like Baron might have that sort of mentality, or to be more subtle than that. Just make sure they do a good job in the spot. Because at the end of all of these missions, right, your patrol leader writes up a report that gets delivered to Gwendolyn, highlighting sort of how things end up going, and details get omitted or added based on your patrol leader.
I'm not sure how subtle she would be about sucking up, but
sure.
I kind of headcanon, I guess it's not really headcanoning if it's my character, but that she was like an older sibling, is used to kind of micromanaging and taking care of things, and so she's going to just kind of be like, it's all right, you can make me your second in command. I can take care of all the little things for you.
Okay. That's nice. Great.
Yeah. Robin has fearless and idealistic as traits.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think they have been a guard mouse for long. They're probably just out of tender paws.
Yeah.
So I think they are pretty happy about going south, because it's a long trip and it's long from Lockhaven. It's an adventure.
Sure.
We have been tasked this, but then also I saw that I have a mentor named Quinn.
Mm-hmm. A different Quinn, or is it the same?
I think it's the same, because it was. I think this started out as one of the tender paws that was supposed to have one from the players.
You've made a bad decision.
No.
So,
I've made the best decision.
Yeah, so your mentor is Quinn.
Oh no.
So Quinn has been
Dang it.
teaching you the ropes of things. Yeah.
Responsibility.
Only now you've been given your cloak, so it's no longer like a direct apprenticeship. You're technically a full-fledged guard, but yeah, your former teacher on this mission with you.
Oh gosh.
So no pressure, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, I want to set the scene again. So the next sort of like spot here after then leaving Lockhaven and sort of getting a sense of how we all, the vibe check of how we're all feeling about this mission. It's sort of like late spring, so winter has finally given up the ghost, and it's been heavy snows and things have been replaced by rain, pretty much relentless rain for the past couple months. You had a month of actual chill where it's just been kind of foggy but not actual rain, and then a few days ago there was another shower that went through, and today it's just feels kind of like that. You're not sure what time of the day it is when the sky's sort of that gray overcast forever, and so you can imagine walking through the mud or drying mud, doing the best you can. Fortunately, because you're going on major through roads, and even though you never have left Lockhaven maybe in some time, other patrols have gone and sort of made some of the roads for you already. So imagine sort of like planks placed down or on top of some of the worst of the mud on the roads for patrols, and as well as merchants. And you sort of passed by a few merchants with their carts, with their beetles hauling their carts, and maybe like one of them's broken a wheel or something, some by, and they're cursing, kicking their kind of stuff, and you've helped them, right? But other than that, it's been relatively easy. Sounds like you all have been sharing the load here of who's actually hauling this hand cart with this. Think of like a golden retriever sized bee, right? It's been sedated for the time. Yeah, like to a mouse, a bee is pretty big. It's like the size of a medium sized dog, right? And these bees, yeah, they're very useful, and they've been kind of sedated with this sort of smoke that comes along with it.
Mm-hmm.
Even though you're not trained in apiary stuff, the apiaries have sort of shown you a little bit of like, hey, this is what you're supposed to do. This is important, and keep them away from obviously other queens because they will be competitive. Okay. So anyways, you guys are sort of following along the way, and you kind of just have said farewell to I guess maybe like say Copperwood, and you're going down to Spruce Tuck, or maybe let's say Ivydale. You just passed Ivydale and you're on your way down to Spruce Tuck. And so while you're on your way on this road, you pass another cart nearby, and this cart, just like the previous ones, has broken an axle. However, this time's a little bit different. The merchant of this vessel realizes what you're carrying and dashes over to their own cart, but they're a moment too late as two worker bees pop out of a crate and begin to buzz towards your queen. You are maybe a couple hundred feet away. So you can maybe just turn around a bend, and you can hear the buzzing of these bees now coming at you. And the poor merchant, it's like with her hat, it's like sideways, and you see her hands are all muddy. She's like, no, trying to fruitlessly stop these worker bees from coming towards you. Right? They're clearly agitated, and they have been busted out of their stockades, and now they're coming towards your poor princess. Your princess is kind of like scattering in their own, shimmering or shivering in their own cages. They're not sure what to do. They're stuck. What do you all do?
Do we know if they will be violent to her?
Yeah, they'll be aggressive. It's very, if other workers are attacking, that's a clear sign that they're part of another, of like a queen,
Mm-hmm.
and the queens don't like other queens.
Yeah, they're very territorial, right?
Exactly, they're very territorial, which means this other card has a queen bee on it. So you could try to, not to leave you out on a limb of what to do in this situation, but certainly you could try to use some of that smoke that you have, and with some quick thinking, maybe try to placate them. You could obviously fight them or somehow wrestle them down or something like that is possible. But those are all sound kind of risky or dangerous. Who would like to be the first person who steps up? Who do you think it would be the first person to act in the situation?
Well, I guess since Danny is the patrol leader, it makes sense for her to kind of get out in front of things. So I will, if I'm not already at the cart, I will get out in front of the cart. And do we have like rope or anything like that? Any kind of supplies?
Do you have any rope on your character? Your character
Oh,
sheet? Say rope?
I suppose I could look there.
Most mice don't carry too much stuff on them.
I just have I do not have that listed under gear, and I'm guessing that's where it would be, right?
Yeah. You probably don't have, you have a little, let's just say you have a little bit of rope, but nothing, less, maybe like 3 feet, or to us would be 3 feet of rope, but to a mouse would be just, like basically like an arm's width length of rope to work with. And that's maybe part of the securing the queen bee's cage in the cart, right?
Okay. I will shout out an order to the rest of my patrol, basically saying, avoid hurting the bees the other bees if you can, but we need to prevent them from reaching this queen at all costs. And
okay. And Robin will run towards them and trying to wrestle them down. Trying to just grab a hold of one of them.
Not going to be outdone. I'm going to do the same thing.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Not
so
too easily outdone.
Unbelievable.
Okay. I like these buzzwords. Okay. So it sounds like we're going to try to tackle down these bees. So what happens here, and this is going to be a very, very first roll. So what's going to happen is that one person is going to step up and be sort of like the leader. It's almost like in Blades, you're leading a group action. Like one person is going to be the person who actually ends up like doing the thing, and the other person or everyone else here can try to help them in the situation. So I need between Robin and Baron, one of you to volunteer as sort of being the person who's going to be making the actual test. But
Sure,
it's clear
I'll
that
do
both
it.
of you will be in the thick of it. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, Baron. So Baron, you'll be doing it. So what's going to happen here is that first we're going to pick what type of skill and challenge this is. So
Okay.
you're going to be, there's a list of skills on your character sheet, but there's also a list of helpers on a sheet that has all of the skills listed here. So like tackling down a bunch of bees, to me, sounds like a fighter test or maybe a hunter. What do you think?
I was probably going to say fighter because if it's something this large, it's more about like wrestling something down. When I think hunting, I tend to think more like securing a smaller animal, like a kill.
Yeah. Right. But exactly. I could see it either way, and which is what I wanted to take your take on it. Yeah. So Baron, you're gonna fight. You're gonna really just kind of wrestle it down. Yeah, like an animal. Okay, cool. Or excuse me, not like an animal, just but as an opponent.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. So you're gonna try to fight it. Okay. So this is gonna be a fighting test. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna start with a number of dice equal to your fighter skill. You have a fighter skill, right?
Yes, I have a 5 rating. Is that what that is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay. And what's going to happen here is then this is going to be what's called a versus test, where I'm going to be rolling dice for the difficulty against you. And so at the start of every sort of like, hey, when you make a test, you get to know the difficulty of the test. However, but now that we have decided that we're doing a test, there's no point of backing out of doing a test, and that we are now committed now that we know these numbers. And the numbers that you're going to be dealing with here is that you're going to be going against. I'm going to be rolling 4 dice. Okay. And for each success, a 4, 5, or 6, and that's going to be how many successes you're going to need to match. Okay. I might roll 0, and you might roll 1. I might roll 4 successes, and it might be hard. Okay. So, but that's sort of the starting situation. I can't add any more dice than what I have with the 4, but you can be adding dice to this roll, and this is where we get into the
helping.
Exactly.
Thing? Okay.
Mm-hmm. So when you're making a test, we're not doing an ability test. We're doing a skill test. There are certain things that can help you out here that can provide you dice. Do you have any gear that you think could help you in this situation? Do you have the right gear for this job?
Could I perhaps try to use like the blunt end of my halberd to kind of knock
totally
them down?
Yeah, you want to use your weapon, but not like the pointy side.
Not the pointy end.
Sure. Yeah. That sounds like a die. Okay. Yeah. So you get 1 die. Is anyone helping you?
I'm thinking I should probably help. Yeah, but I'm not entirely sure.
We should have tackled different bees.
Yeah, you're tackling it. Yeah, it sounded like you were rushing ahead, right?
Yeah.
So it sounds like you're helping with fighter.
Yeah.
In Mouse Guard, skills help skills and abilities help abilities. I tend to think about what's going on fictionally because there's a certain rule of like too many cooks where like not everybody can try to pick the same lock and help each other pick a lock kind of thing, you know, or, you know, there's certain points where it doesn't make sense where everyone's helping with the same way. But in this situation with two bees coming forward, two people helping by you taking the other bee, totally, you'd be helping, I guess, with fighter. So you'll be providing an additional die to Baron. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Does Quinn or Danny want to help in this situation?
I think Quinn definitely wanted to deal with the situation in a different way. So definitely, these two are already doing something. They can.
Sure. It's almost always a good idea to help. However,
really?
Yeah, well, it gives you additional successes. However, every time you help, you put yourself on the line for consequences. So your mouse could get injured or gain what's called a condition in this game. There's not hit points, there's just conditions. And anytime you commit yourself to a role, you are also committing yourself to the stakes of the role and the consequences. So typically by helping, you will take some sort of consequence, but if it's a failed test, but it's typically not as bad as the person who actually rolled it.
So helping in this action doesn't prevent us from doing a different action?
No, this is all going to be Baron's role right now. And so what you're doing is we're building the pool of dice that Baron's going to roll to try to subdue these worker bees.
Okay. Am I allowed to say, well, I'm good at this, so I do this? Is that?
I mean, can you fictionally justify it? And does Baron accepts your help? And if you can fictionally justify this is helping Baron tackle these bees, then yes.
They're both young, and apparently I'm a mentor of some sort, or at least I was. And I just feel like I see that their form is very wrong, so I'm like, straighten up, soldier, because I'm good at instructing apparently, and so I want to like, or. You're throwing that too high, like.
Yeah, because Robin is your student, I think I will allow that for this case, because it also creates an interesting failure condition. Should it come up? Yes.
Okay.
That's cool. Awesome. So you're going to gain another die. The last, Danny.
Yeah, so I will come in and also help with fighter. I think I'm gonna, because this is a learning experience for the younger members of the Mouse Guard, I will endeavor to let them do most of the work as like a teaching experience, but I will help where needed to try to like add my weight to keep the bee down.
Okay, yeah. I don't think too many cooks applies here. I think a third mouse helping wrestle down two bees makes perfect sense. I know we're going kind of slow, but we're kind of walking through the checklist for the very first time, y'all. So like that's why we're methodologically going through it. There we go. That's your $5 word today. All right. So right now, Sharon, how many dice is Baron at right now for this roll?
So I have 5. I have a 5 rating in fighter, so that means that's 5 plus 1 from my weapon, plus 1 from Robin, plus 1 from Quinn. So that's 8 dice right now.
And plus 1 from Danny as well.
And plus 1 from Danny. Sorry. Yes.
So 9. Is that 8 dice? 9? 9 dice?
9 dice.
Okay. So you're at 9 dice, and I'm going to roll 4 dice. At this point, there's 2 other things you can add to this roll, and this is why I bring them up. Do is everyone else has an additional type of coin that you can, or a game token that you can spend that can empower you in certain moments, and that's called a persona point. You can spend your persona point to do what's called tapping your nature, which means that you can add your nature dice to the pool. I describe it as sort of going Super Saiyan in a moment, or like in Pendragon when you invoke a passion. You kind of really put your mouseness on the line. By doing that. And it's a way to get a bunch of dice very quickly. However, if it's not related to your mouse's general nature, which is climbing, hiding, escaping, or foraging, it can go down over time. The relationship between nature and skills is something that plays out long term, but in a one shot, it's not that important. But just know that that's on the option. That's how you can spend a persona point in the situation, get a bunch of extra dice. And then the last thing here are traits. Since you are the one who's doing the role, your traits are the ones that come into play, not other people's traits. Helpers don't get to use their traits in this situation. Helpers can only help with, and because this is a skill, with a skill or wise. I didn't mention that earlier, but if anyone has wises are a way to help. And mechanically, wises are different than skills, because if you help with a wise, you aren't actually affected by any downsides of anything. You know, if you are mining, or, you know, if you're tunnel wise and your friend is using a shovel to build a tunnel, you say you shouldn't build that, that's soft ground, get a die. You know, you're the one who doesn't get hurt from when it collapses, right? Because you're in the back being like, told you shouldn't have done that, right? Their Twitch chat calling out rules with the page numbers. That's being wise, but you're not actually insulated. You know, you're not the one playing the game, so you're insulated from the stuff, right? So it's sort of like how a wise works. But then the last thing here are traits. And the reason why I wanted to use traits last year is that traits on a one-to-one basis help you out if you use them positively. However, depending on the level of your trait, that's the number of times you can use it per session positively. So a level 1 trait of being brave means you can only highlight being brave once per session. However, there's another side to that. You can highlight as many times as you want how brave gets you into trouble and removes a die from your pool. And the reason you would do that is that it earns you additional player check. And that's finally where we get to the very first roll, how that all kind of comes back together from the very first breakdown of the player check, GM check. Because I can tell you right now that I have I technically prepare 2 obstacles with sort of sub obstacles under them. So anywhere between 2 to maybe 6 tests that are the GM's turn if everything would go really poorly. And those are your only options to get players checks. So if you wanted to maybe reduce your chances to succeed because you feel like you're, overconfident in your 9 dice, there's an easy way to earn a player's check by showing off how one of your traits actually doesn't help you here, but will impede you. I know, just cast wall of text verbally at you with all this stuff, and it's kind of a lot to take in. But that's sort of the general gist of this. This is as complicated as it gets for rolling dice in Mouse Guard. This is the first time we've heard how dice rolls work, and so that's why we're taking so much time and going through it. So
just to go over the trait, if I have the compassionate trait and I were to say that would be a weakness of mine in this instance, in that I go to hit the bee, but I also really don't want to hurt it, and I really don't want to. I really want to obey my captain, my patrol leader rather, and try to gently hug the bee instead of really commit to it. Then that would be something I could do.
That's super compassionate. That's absolutely.
Okay.
And you can't give it your all. You're kind of fighting with one arm behind your back, so to speak, in order to not hurt the bees. Yeah, for sure.
Okay,
so you can dock 1 point, 1 die, and you can go ahead and I'll give yourself another player's check for when we get to the player's check phase.
Okay.
Cool. All right. So do we want to roll dice with the macro, or do you want to roll dice on the actual Roll20 sheet?
I will just do it on the Roll20 sheet because I didn't figure out the macro beforehand.
Okay, no problem. All right, so pick your color. Since you're rolling first, you get to pick your first color. So we have 4 colors to choose from. We have blue, yellow, pink, and white. Which one do you think represents Baron?
Is it all right if I claim yellow because I have a gold cloak?
Totally.
Okay, cool.
So how many dice are yours that aren't helpers from others?
How many dice are mine?
Yeah, so you have your fighter and you have your halberd, right?
Mm-hmm.
So your fighter is 5, your halberd is 6.
Yes, but then all? That's it. Yeah.
But then you're also subtracting 1 from your...
Yeah, because of compassionate.
Yeah.
So then that would just be 5, which are mine.
Yeah. Cool. And then your 3 other ones from your friends. So let's pick all the colors from now. So who's going to be the pink red, who's going to be the blue, and who's going to be the white?
I can be red.
Okay. Robin's red. Easy to remember. Danny and Quinn?
Danny, do you have a color you want?
But defer to your patrol leader.
I was gonna say my cloak color is white, so I can take the white dice.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll take blue then.
Awesome. Okay, so then these 8 dice are going to be the dice that are going to be rolled. And what's going to happen is that you're going to select all 8 of those dice with your mouse. Then you're just going to right click on them and hit multi-sided and then go to random side. And that's going to roll all 8 of those dice. Okay, so let's look at the results here. I need to roll 4 dice because this is going to be, represents the bees. Okay, so I rolled 1 success because a 4, 5, or 6 is a success. So now we count the numbers of 4, 5s, and 6s. So I got 1, and you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have 5 successes. You win swimmingly, so you succeed. Cool. Okay. So I think, what do you describe for me how this kind of looks? Because you guys are all kind of coordinating together here to wrestle down these bees. You succeed. You succeed at your attempt at your intent and task of protecting these bees and protecting the queen and taking them down. So describe to me kind of how this looks.
All right. So as soon as I see Robin start to take off towards the bees, I think, oh no, I can't let him show off first. And then I charge forward with the blunt end of my halberd out. And I kind of use that to kind of catch the bee in the space between the head and the thorax. I think that's the middle part. To try to like swing it off of its intended path. And then go in for a really big hug.
Aw, yeah. So you're wrestling with this big old bee that's trying to get away from you, right? But you're securing it. You're doing your best not to hurt it, right? Yeah, cool. And then we see Robin and Danny helping with Quinn in the back, being like, "Yeah, good job. Use your legs. Use your back."
Yeah, that's good.
Super helpful. Awesome. Yeah, cool. So it only takes a few minutes afterwards for this other merchant to come by, who's finally caught up to you, kind of exhausted, looks kind of defeated, and thanks you so much for doing that. She wipes the sweat from her brow. You can see that she's wearing sort of the blue colors of spruce tuck through the mud, right? And she can't, I can't thank you enough. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're very welcome. Glad we could be of assistance.
Yeah, good. If you don't mind, just helping me getting them back in the cages, that'd be no problem. Then be on.
Baron, can you move that one?
I'm trying really hard to stay on.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, so we see the scene of like one of the 4 of you, or all 4 of you, kind of like doing the last securing lashings of the bees back into the cages, and you can see there is definitely another princess in or another queen to be in this cart that's clearly has a stuck wheel in here, and that's when sometime in that time this apiarist has called out her name to you, and she's Sable, and she's trying to transport this princess here, and she got stuck at this crossroads because this damnable mud, it's just everywhere, and it's just wreaking havoc on the wheels of these carts. I thought the guard was supposed to do something about this.
Yeah.
Out of character, is the guard responsible for making sure that the mud is taken care of?
Making sure the roads are upkept is a responsibility, okay. But there's nothing you can do about it. You can't stop the mud.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just they just need something to blame.
But
right?
Danny is polite though. She says, "I'm terribly sorry. That's not what we've been sent out to do. But that when we get back to Lockhaven, I'll make sure to say something to the matriarch."
Well, good. Is that where you're going?
No, we are actually headed to Dorigift.
She takes off her hat and kind of like wipes her hands with the hat and putting back on, so it's like covered with paw prints now. And she goes, "Dorigift? If you don't mind, can I see your delivery papers?
Do I have delivery papers?
Yeah. Part of the mission is Gwendolyn would have given you all of the official records of like, the manifest, the official, a copy of the letter of from Doris requesting a new bee.
Awesome.
Right. It's all, kind of that kind of stuff. Right. So it's all in order. You're an official mission.
Okay, yeah, sure. I'll pull out.
Even though you're UPS.
I will pull out associated paperwork and.
Yeah. Right. Okay. And she looks it over quizzically, and she goes, "Oh, you can't be serious." I guess I'm going Irish now. I'm sorry. I'm just go with it. Okay.
It's happening.
It's happening.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Oh, you can't be serious. Then she pulls out her exact same copy of paperwork. I'm also going to Dorigift.
I didn't realize. I mean, is it possible for them to need 2 queen bees?
No. You would know that. That's a hard no.
Because they're so territorial. There's no.
Yeah.
That'd be bad news.
Who sent you? Who asked you to bring this bee?
Who? Doris? Doris did. Look. Look, I work for Hayden, the AP artist in Spruce Tuck, and I got the paperwork, and I'm off here hauling my bees. Who sent me? I don't.
Well,
I don't. The matriarch of Spruce Tuck, she says sarcastically, right? Like, I'm doing the same job you're doing right now. Like,
if you're going to Doris Gifts, why are you so much up north?
Why did you go backwards?
You try going down the roads to the south when there's rain. There's nothing there.
But then why wouldn't you just say in Spruce Tuck?
And not deliver? Look at me.
How are you planning to deliver if you're going the wrong way?
I'm going to take them down over through Copperwood. I'm telling you, the road to Dorigift is absolutely out from Spruce Tuck. This is the only way. And if I'm going to get this before springtime, I'm going to have to go the long way.
Robin will look at the
But
cart.
I'm not going anywhere. Yeah, and she kicks her cart, right? Like the bees are the side. She doesn't like kick with the bees or anything like that. She's not a horrible person or anything. It's just the cart has a broken axle, right? It's like, well, I'm not going anywhere until I get my cart fixed. Now you wouldn't be willing to help a poor mouse out, would you?
We're always willing to help, but I'm not sure what we can do in this circumstance.
Oh, I'm sorry. You can just give me a little bit. You have so much wood on your cart, and just give me a little bit, and help me fix this axle.
Do we have enough that we can share?
If you kind of lash them together.
That seems like a terrible plan.
I didn't say I was going to do it.
No, I know.
Yeah.
Are you suggesting that we connect your cart with a queen bee with our cart with a queen bee when we just had to stop them from fighting?
But aren't we supposed to help people?
Yes,
Yeah.
but I just think that we might want to space ourselves out a little bit.
I mean, we could just take some of the woods and perhaps use some of my pieces of mason tools to fashion a sort of a better axle. I mean, there are woods out in the what do they call it, woods. You can just take a small
There's enough of a woodlands and stuff you could kind of like scavenge something together. And
I have a wood carving cart or wood carving kit. I could.
Yeah.
Well, say, but what if we made you a new axle?
Well, I would be very thankful. You all doing your turn of striving no less to serve the greater good.
Well, I think some of my guard here has the skills necessary. So if you will wait there with your cart, we will see what we can do for you.
Awesome.
Do we need to move our cart further away? Is this something like, are they going to fight again if we don't? Should we like?
You
Maybe
secured.
we can get a head start first.
You definitely secured the bees, and then they're not at risk right now of breaking up. Like that's part of what you secured with the fighter test here. So I can't do that to you. However, yeah, the bigger things at hand would be it would be a much more difficult test to basically go scavenge and pick some up and try to lash something together. It would be a moderately challenging test to maybe just brute force your way of fixing this cart with the rest of the wood around. But it's a pretty easy test if somebody's good at carpentry to fix the cart. The other big thing at hand here is, as you all are kind of discussing your options about what to do with this cart, is that you should discuss your options about what to do with two bees going to the same place. That clearly there's something wrong here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely when we've pulled off and are kind of out of earshot, I will go up to Quinn and say, Gwendolyn doesn't usually make this kind of mistake, does she?
Quinn will like turn to Danny. That's true. Gwendolyn doesn't usually make this kind of mistake.
Danny's.
The thing is, yeah, continue.
His backstory wise, Gwendolyn's basically never made a mistake in her life.
Yeah, that's kind of what
Okay.
I figured. I just cross my little arms and look at them and say, Gwendolyn doesn't make mistakes.
So what we need to do is to help, but not help good enough so that we can get ahead.
I don't think it's a race.
I'm
But
not sure.
It is now, though.
Yeah, well, they have a bee and we have a bee, and the winner bee gets to be queen, and I want it to be ours.
It has to be the mouse guard bee.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Princess Mouse
Danny,
Guard.
Robin is making up that rule, but yes, that's not a rule.
No, I feel like, correct me if I'm wrong, but Quinn and Danny are just sharing a look like, really?
These two.
I can make an axle, and so that we will be helping, but then I can kind of make it a little weaker in the middle so that maybe
they have to take, so they have to be more careful, and we can just take on through the woods and just go whoosh there.
Robin, Baron,
On.
is that really for the greater good?
We would still sound very good.
What's important is that Dorigift gets a queen bee, not that it be the bee that we're bringing.
But our bee is the best.
How do we know their bee is better?
I mean, theirs came with 2 guards. Or workers.
We are the guards.
Workers.
Yeah.
Workers.
Theirs is like buy one, get 2 free.
Yeah, that's basically
Buy
it.
one, get one bee.
You get the seal of approval of Mouse, of Lockhaven, and 4 guards to escort your bee. If you do the Spruce Tuck order route, you get it with 2 workers.
It's a
it's a combo package, like a PlayStation with a game and an extra controller. It's like that situation.
Our bee princess is badass enough to handle herself.
I'm sure that's true. But again, what's important is that Dorigift gets a bee. If we arrive there at the same time, I don't see that there's necessarily any harm in it.
Well, but what if there's... Here's the thing. We all know Gwendolyn does not make mistakes.
Correct.
Ergo, this bee has to get to Dorigift, and this bee is for Dorigift.
Correct.
Either there is a misunderstanding with that bee, or perhaps it belongs to a different city. Maybe it was a misunderstanding. Maybe we should get some clarification.
Or someone is trying to make the mouse god look bad.
Or someone's playing a rude trick.
I don't see any way to resolve this until we get to Dorigift. Either that or going back to Lockhaven.
Well,
which I think we want to do.
Going
We're on
back
our
to
way to
Lockhaven,
Copperwood. Sorry, go ahead.
just context-wise, going back to Lockhaven, not fulfilling your goal here would be not a good look.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
There's a few weeks to get to like travel here,
Yeah,
right?
it's not
Yeah,
a small thing.
No. And to go back and be like, whoop, someone else said there was a B and they had the paperwork, that's not going to look good to your boss, is it? Is that your boss? Yeah.
We should put you on the Dorigift.
Danny, also additional context. So I think this will help you a little bit to know a little bit as well. Because I heard you when you said that it may not always matter. A B is sort of like an economic promise, right?
Okay.
Like having it's almost symbolic, but also it's kind of like, hey, you have a Lockhaven B. That's sort of showing a little bit of an allegiance. I mean, just subtly, just subtly. It's not actually, but some people could see it that way. There could be a subtext, but maybe not. It could be a flex. Spruce Tech is not a small city. Or Spruce Tech can't rival Lockhaven in any way, but like they do compete a little economically in terms of the big
Chicago
cities.
and New York, baby.
Yeah, that's a good example. Yeah, exactly, right? Like the big ones listed on the map here, like Spruce Tuck, Ivydale, Copperwood, Lockhaven, Ironwood. These are the very big industrial like places of the place, and those cities do have a little bit more pride than say, the little hamlet of Dorigift. Right. So just a little context to help you steer how you want.
Well, we have to help them. That's our job.
Exactly.
That's what we do. But we still have to pass through Copperwood. And there's more people and more word in Copperwood. So what if we use that time to figure out this misunderstanding? Why don't we try and clear things up there? In the meantime, we all need to get off this muddy road. Get going. Get our bees a move on. But
yeah.
Sounds like a good plan, Quinn.
Yeah. Who's going to be the person? Who's going to be the person who steps up? Who is the mouse that steps up to make this test to help repair this axle and get Sable on their way?
I'm not gonna fix
So
it.
you have to have the skill.
No, if you don't have the skill.
Yeah. Then I will step up because I am
no.
All right.
Oh man.
No, this is a good example of the rules of mouse guard in play for now. So you don't have the skill, but you're going to. So describe to me how Robin would go about trying to fix this axle. I don't need like the mechanical way, but is this something that you would be like, you're just going to scavenge around for stuff, vis-a-vis like a survivalist test? Or are you going to try to work pretty hard and do a sort of like a laborer, or are you going to try to do more like a carpentry, like do your best about, yeah, okay, and like whatever sawing you can and like getting the right axle fit?
I think I would perhaps take a few bits of what we have and then scavenge most of it so that it fits.
Okay, sure. So it sounds like you're doing the survivalist test for it. Okay,
and I have that one.
Okay, so then you have the skill.
Yeah, I was thinking about carpentry because.
Yeah.
Sure.
I was gonna say I could help with finding stuff, not building.
Based on how you described finding stuff, then we're doing the survivalist route.
Yep.
Okay. Cool. So we're gonna do survivalist. This is going to be a fixed obstacle test. So this is an ob3 test for you. So it's pretty challenging, or kind of moderately challenging. You're starting with 3 dice. I saw you just pull the 3 dice up there. Cool. I'll ask you the same questions. Do you have any supplies that you think can help you?
I have mason tools and rope, so I can probably use the rope to tie things together.
Yeah, I think the rope will come in super handy here. So you have rope. So that would be crucial supplies in this situation of lashing things together for this axle. So yes, give yourself an additional die for that.
Yep.
Is anybody helping you?
I'll help.
And then describe how you.
I also have survivalists, so I can help scavenge in the woods.
Sure.
To find like a strong beam or something that we can use to.
Yeah. Two mice going out looking around for like So a good the two good pieces of wood you can find that aren't super waterlogged that can be lashed together that won't break in 5 minutes that sounds right. The other two?
I do have a wood carving kit, so maybe I could help use that to try to make the pieces fit somewhat better.
Sounds like you're helping with carpentry.
Oh, okay.
So when you help, when you help with skills help skills unless you have a wise.
Okay.
So it's one of the weird parts of the game is that if you have the different tools to help, as the person not doing the test, you can't use those tools.
Okay. Very fair.
Or same thing with traits. You can only help with skills or wises.
Okay, so you can't help with like abilities?
No. Okay. Abilities help abilities, skills help skills, but then wises also help skills.
A quick question. Where would I find, did I just miss wises on my sheet? They would be listed.
They're at the bottom.
Oh, okay. I probably just missed them. Thank you.
No. Where are your wises?
Doesn't they count as skills on this?
Are they in skills?
I don't see anything marked wise on mine either, but I thought maybe that was only some people had them.
I don't have it either.
Oh, you know what? Maybe I just never copied over anyone's wises, which oops. That's on me.
Okay.
All right. Well, let's ignore wises for the moment.
Yeah, because I think that was one of the changes. First edition, it was in
skills.
Skill.
Yeah. No, everyone definitely has
edition.
wise. I just don't see them on the sheet. Oops. I have to go find the pre-generated ones and give it. Or let's have a chance to narrative declare what they are. Let's do that. So a wise should be like a grouping of something. It represents a domain of knowledge that you're familiar with. For example, if you traveled around or spent a lot of time in Spruce Talk, you could be like Spruce Talk wise, so you know people. And then anytime around Spruce Talk, you can kind of use that. You could be trail wise, representing your knowledge of paths and shortcuts. You could be a specific animal wise, where then you can actually communicate with those animals, as well as sort of know things about them. You could be night wise, where you're better at night. Any idea for wises?
My character has several components that mention watching the weather. So should I be like weather wise?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, weather wise makes a lot of sense.
That's just based on what you were saying. That's what my immediate thought was. Yeah, it declares my character's quite interested in the weather and mapping things. That's my two big things.
Yeah.
Could I be Elmas wise? Because that's the town where I'm from.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
I think pathwise.
Hell yeah. Sounds great.
I'm trying to think of one that would be very appropriate because my character has a lot of stuff like lore master and administrative stuff as part of being a leader. So is like lore wise a thing? I don't know.
Leadership wise?
Yeah, leader wise, or like governor wise or something. Yeah.
In that way, then, since I haven't helped yet, can I use my weather wise by like seeing what they're doing and being like, no, it's about to get more wet. You're gonna need to like.
So here's I found
that or something.
I found Quinn's sheet, and I can tell you the wises that you have. You have four wises. You have four wises.
I'm so wise.
You have owl wise.
What?
Ooh.
You have bonehead wise.
What?
Wait, what?
Yeah. Anyone stubborn. You know a thing or two about being stubborn.
I definitely am a mentor then. This makes perfect sense now.
You are rain wise, as well as grain wise.
Rain and grain.
Rain and grain. Perfect. Well, then that's suited to what I was saying anyway.
Baron, it's funny that you came up with those because you literally have Lockhaven wise, Governor wise, and Darkheather wise. Darkheather is the part of the map to the west. And that's sort of the weasel territories. The dark heather is sort of the rough and tumble grass and basically the underdark where the weasels live.
I love the Underdark, so that's really cool. Sorry, what were the 4 again? Or was it just 3?
You got 3.
Okay, sorry. Thank you.
No problem. And let's see here. Where is Danny's character? I don't have him for Danny, so Danny, you're gonna have to come up.
I will think about it.
Okay. Some examples could be, again, poison wise, scent border wise, could be tool wise,
Poison wise,
apiary wise, apothecary wise, administration wise.
I like apothecary wise. That's cute.
Okay. Yeah. Snakes wise. Cool.
Does
Yes.
Robin have any more?
Robin has snakes wise and tunnels wise.
Go down the tunnels, finding the snakes.
The older you get, the more likely you have accrued wises.
Then I think I'll keep the path wise and
Yeah.
take the tunnel wise because
Yeah, that sounds good.
I know fuck all about snakes.
Yeah, sounds good. Okay.
So I got one from Queen helping as well with the
Yes.
weather. And did I get anything from?
Yeah, that's
Danny?
good. It definitely. Quinn, real quick. Quinn looking at the weather, it's like, oh yeah. I mean, it's getting like the air pressure is getting a little higher. Like it feels like it's gonna rain again. So that definitely helps you to be like, oh, we should probably not dilly dally. Nice.
I know how much you like to dilly dally.
Did I get anything from Danny?
Yes, I said I would help you scavenge in the woods. So you did.
Okay. Yeah.
Cool.
Right. And
2, 4, 6, you have 7 dice.
Yeah, and my traits.
Yeah. Do you want one that helps you, or do you want to reduce one for additional check?
I'm going to remove one because I'm going to use the generous. Because I'm going to take some of our supplies.
Okay.
Robin, no.
Awesome. Cool. That sounds good.
I trained you better than this.
So you're rolling 6 dice, and you need to get at least 3, 4, 5s, or 6s. Right? So 3 separate 4, 5s, or 6s.
Yeah, I got one.
You got one. Okay. So you failed.
Robin.
So you have currently failed this test.
Yeah.
Are you cool with that, or do you want to try to do something else here? Because here's what happens. And in Mouse Guard, once the test is resolved like this is where wises come into play. Do you think you have a wise that can help the situation? Because wises, when you are the person doing the test, wises don't help you. They just insulate you from your own failure. So you can spend a fate point to reroll 1 die here, one of these failures to turn to a success, or you can spend your persona point to reroll all of those failures to see if you succeed. And that's sort of like the eureka moment of you're like, oh, that would have been so bad. Good thing I'm so smart and this wise that I was going to do this thing, but now we're doing this other thing instead, and you have to explain what that is.
No, I'm going to keep the failure.
Okay. Cool. Awesome. So, since everybody here has helped, right? Everyone was committed to helping.
I did not help.
Oh, I had a. Oh, you didn't.
Yeah.
You have a. I thought you had a die in there. A yellow die.
No.
I might have added the wrong one then.
Oh, I'm sorry. So Baron is the only one not insulated, or excuse me, not exposed to failure here. So Baron, you're okay as you are bundled up, but everyone else, the rain pours down as you all are finishing up this work, and you have to spend the rest of your trip through Copperwood, trudging through the rain and the mud. So it's a good thing you all did that, because now I need you all to make some health tests for me. This is going to be an obstacle 3 health test as you all are shivering in this pouring down rain, hauling this heavy ass cart with multiple bees in it now, because you have to help Sable too. So everyone but Baron. Good job, Baron.
I feel like a jerk.
I feel like it might have
though.
been I feel like I'm sorry, Baron, if or Sharon, if it was a oversight that we accidentally glossed over you when we were going through the rolls, because I think I saw the yellow die and I assumed that you were already in the mix, and I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
Yeah.
fine.
yeah, that was my fault.
So
how do we do this one?
So this is this is an obstacle 3 health test. You cannot help each other on this health test. This is, but if you have supplies that you think could help you, that could possibly help you here. But other than that, you're just gonna have to roll your health, which is an ability, and hopefully you get 3 successes on it.
Okay, so under ability, if it says I have 4, then does that mean I'm rolling 4 dice?
Yes.
And supplies.
You probably don't have any supplies. You don't really have shelter.
No.
I got 3 successes.
Wow. Good job.
Dang.
You are not tired or exhausted by the time you arrive to Copperwood.
Glorious leader, Danny.
I got 4 successes.
You have a lot of
Look at
health.
this, using
Wow.
all those good rolls here. Yeah. Another interesting thing about Mouse Guard is that the younger mice have fewer wises, but a lot of health and like no will. But the older mice have less health, but more will.
I did not get a single success.
Oh,
Okay.
can we give her a thimble
Do you have-
of soup?
Do you have a wise that you would want to reroll the failures, or are you?
I mean, I
content with
have
just
the
taking
rain
being
wise.
tired, exhausted? That would make perfect sense here.
Yeah.
But if you want in order to succeed,
Go
you have
ahead.
to come up with a oh, that would have been dumb of me, and here's how we fix it. And you would have to spend your persona to reroll all of your failures, because you don't have a single reroll wouldn't help you, and you only have one persona. And persona is very powerful.
No.
So is that okay, or do you want to take the L?
I feel like I fail. I feel like that is a logical. I feel like I'm just gonna grumble the whole rest of the way now and not feel good. So do I just go down a point of health, or?
No, you don't go down a point of health. You're going to take a condition.
Okay.
You're going to take the tired condition
Okay.
because you are thoroughly exhausted.
Okay.
Okay. Cool. But then you all will be arriving in Copperwood now. All like 5 of you with Sable, right? Sable's convinced that the problem lies in Dorigift. And yeah. And at that point, I think this is a good time to go to a break, because as we come back, it will be your all's turn with the player's turn to finish this mission.
Okay. I should have a check because I took 1 penalty.
Yeah. So you all get to rest up in Copperwood at like one of the little taverns here. Hearing the songs of the axe and fiddles, hearing and just kind of swapping stories with each other and eating some soup.
Can we give her an acorn cap full of soup?
Yes, but you don't get a chance to recover yet. Recovering from being tired happens with a check. You have to spend a check to no longer be tired.
Okay.
It's one of the ways it hurts to have them. But don't worry, in this game, it's not as punishing as, say, Torchbearer, where exhausted gives you dice problems. This one will only hurt you if we were doing something long in the subsystem of the conflict system, which we're not going to get to. But
it says
it's
I
okay.
have a bad disposition if we get any conflict. So like I said,
Yes.
I'm just going to be grumpy the whole rest of the way.
Yep, you're soaked to the bone, Quinn.
These youngins, I told them to hurry up. It was raining and now I don't feel good.
It's your it was your what do you call him? Not your apprentice, your mentee who led you into this.
Grumble, grumble, grumble.
Yeah, I love it. That's good. Cool. All right. So
Perfect.
I think this is a good spot to go to break.
Yeah. Perfect. Okay. So we'll go to break. We're going to get up, get a snack or a drink, whatever. You do the same. We'll see you back here in a few. Hi, everyone. I hope you had a good break. We are back. It is time to see what is up with this business. It was not a guy. Listen, that would have been better if I had actually pre-planned it, but I didn't. That's why it was bad. So I'm sorry. But Let's see what's happening here, shall we? So wait, are we still in Copperwood? Are we?
We are still in Copperwood, and we are in the player phase of the game now. So no longer am I leading
Are we at your
the
whim?
pages and the scenes. No, I am at your whim.
Perfect.
So each of you should have gotten at least one. You have starting out one check. A few of you have gotten some more through play, and you're going to be using those, or you can share them with each other to have sort of scenes at this moment. So I think we have a total of 1, 2, 3. We have like 6 players checks now. The only thing that happens in a stipulation of a player's check is that you can't go twice in a row. Once you do a scene, someone else has to go. You can donate your check to somebody else if they want to. And how you spend a check is something I should probably talk about because it's the first time it's coming up. This is sort of your chance to write this part of the story. So for example, we haven't made it to Dorigift yet. So if anyone has a goal on their sheet of I will successfully make sure this bee arrives, that's a good chance. It's good time to use your check. Accomplishing the goal, which hasn't been accomplished yet, right? If you have a condition and you want to recover, that's a good time to use a check. You can use your check to describe how you're eating the soup and stuff in Copperwood, or taking the hospitality somewhere in Dorigift to get there, right? And do that kind of stuff. If and anytime when you spend a player's check, you're taking the spotlight to sort of, you basically get to tell me what skill you want to roll and the context kind of around it, and other people can come into the scene to help you if it makes sense, right? So it's not just a solo scene, but it's just that you have a chance to tell me sort of the scene of what's going on and what your intentions are.
If we want to donate the check to some of the others, is that just
That's you can do it freely. No, it's automatic.
Okay.
Yeah, you just give it to someone else to do.
Question. Were we supposed to when we helped? If we're helping, are we still getting checks or no?
No. You cannot earn any more checks in the player's turn. You can only earn checks in the GM's turn.
Okay.
So there's no infinite thing. It's just
okay. So I don't have any of those yet.
No,
anyway,
you just have one check because everyone starts with one. Sorry, I keep cutting you off.
I have knitting equipment. So while we have been, traveling, I have been knitting a small hat, and I will donate one of my checks to Quinn. Just hold the hat over.
Now, hold on. Not so fast, Robin. Do you have an instinct that says, "In my spare time, I knit hats"?
No, I don't, though. I don't.
Then no, you have not had the time to do so.
Always create useful things in my free moments.
Is that true?
Yeah, you can look it up.
Yeah, then this is perfect because this is the first time I've seen an instinct come into play. Instincts do not cost a check to do, and they do not cost anything, and you can invoke them in the GM's turn. So this is a way to circumvent the checks and the turn phase, is by having a good instinct that helps the team. So there you go. That's a fantastic instinct. And so you get to circumvent that, save your check, and let's do this little knit roll here. So I think knitting or sewing is an actual skill, right? Or is it? It's not peasant. It's
weaver.
Weaver. That's the one I was looking for. Weaver. Yeah. So you had a chance to weave a little hat, or right? Is that what we were describing as a little?
Yeah, I was going to describe that how I give my check over to Quinn so that Quinn can.
Well, you could do the weaver test first.
Yeah, that's a 3.
Please tell me you're making me a toque.
A hat is an ob 1 weaver.
Yeah, and I have knitting equipment, so that's.
Yep. So you can get supplies to it. Yep. So go ahead and try to beat a 1 here.
Oh boy.
You got it.
Hey.
So, all right, you have the hat, and the hat can confer a +1 die to health test against coldness for sure.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Nice.
Okay.
There you go. Cool. So you have the hat, and that didn't cost you a check. So you're donating a hat and a check here this time in Copperwood. Well done, Robin. See, that's like high level mouse guard. That's what something you would see someone who's playing for like 5 sessions plus would be like, okay, so I can use my instinct to get an extra check. I'm going to donate the check and give them supplies for the thing that they want to do. It's like all that like additional how do I get the most out of a single session.
Oh my gosh.
Well done.
So I want to describe how I'm trying to get healthy.
Yeah. This will be a health test to recover. I believe it's an ob 3 to recover from being tired.
Ooh.
Or can we help or okay.
I
No.
don't see how I could possibly.
You're getting 1 additional die because of supplies.
Ooh. Okay, wait. I'm good at cooking. Can I cook us all something like really warm and like soothing? And
Do you want to, if you, that requires a check.
okay.
A skill, unless you have something that says always cook.
No, I definitely do not. The thing I like to do is make maps, which I said already.
Yeah. So then the only thing you could do would be, unless you wanted to spend a check to cook to give your and then you would have to choose between the supplies.
Okay.
Because there's only one like that crucial clutch supply that really helps you. You can obviously have more supplies that help you, but you can only mechanically have one thing that gives you a die for supplies.
Okay.
But you could have chosen between that. Like if 2 people were trying to help you with supplies, and like one person made soup and the other person in a hat, and like you could actually like kingmate between people of helping you. So.
Okay. Well, if I just have my hat and nothing else, how do I roll to unsickify?
So you have a health test. So this is a difficulty 3. It's an obstacle 3 health test. So you can roll health. So whatever the health of your mouse is, +1 because you have the hat.
Okay, it's not good. This is why we got here in the first place. Apparently, I'm old and.
Yeah.
Okay, let's try. Womp. 2.
I see through. No.
3. Oh.
You got 3. That blue one in the corner there, or the first one. 4, 5, and 6. You got 3. So you pass. You're no longer tired.
Hey. Grumble, grumble, grumble. Oh, okay, fine. It's good. It's nice. Thank you.
Yep. So that one is.
Thank you, Robin.
Cool. We have 5 checks remaining.
Thank you for this very nice toque.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Are there ear holes in the?
For one of them, because I just made the roll.
Oh.
So like
I didn't finish it.
One of my ears is like pressed down inside and the other one is comfortably out. That's actually perfect.
You're just sitting there holding a cup of tea, just like, oh God, recovering. I wish I could recover in real life. That'd be nice.
Amazing. Yeah. Okay. So
beautiful. That's a good scene.
Perfect. While we're here, are we allowed to, should we try and talk to Sable and figure out this situation, or do we just have to proceed?
There's there's nothing really else I think I could give you that could figure out. It's not like anyone in Copperwood would know the difference. It's like, I don't know, they're just 2 identical orders. There's nothing.
We're gonna have to go to Dorigift and just
I would tell you if there was something suspicious, and then you could tell me why you would think you would know it's something suspicious, and we could do a roll for it or something like that. But I'm telling you, like, these things they're identical orders.
Okay.
Like they all look in line. No, but because we're stopping in Copperwood, I need someone to spend a check to get there, though.
I could.
What?
Yeah. What?
What would that be like?
Well, the roads are out, so you're going to have to find a path.
Oh, I feel like
Scout.
I feel like
Pathfinder.
Oh, that I don't have. Scout, yes. Pathfinder, no.
I have Pathfinder.
I'm just
You
gonna.
are the leader.
Patrol leader.
I'm just gonna let you know. Hey, Danny.
Yeah.
It's raining.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're helping with your rain lice. Yeah. Be careful, it's raining. I see you. And that insulates you from another.
Thank you.
And that insulates you from any particular. Awesome. Having the right wise is so good, but you get so few of them.
Sitting there with your hat on.
Yeah, drinking my cup of tea. Hey, Danny.
Pointing out the window? Yeah.
Oh, dear. All right. Yeah, I can do this with help from Quinn.
Yeah. I will help with scouting as well.
Let me tell you. So you're going to be rolling against Spring. And Spring has 6 dice to bring to bear.
Oh my gosh.
Rolling against a season?
Yep. Your enemy is the season. To find the path here, it's through all the weather and stuff of spring.
Oh my
So
god,
that's the problem.
It's so hard being a mouse.
I have 3 dice.
Nature.
For equipment, can I use my spectacles?
Oh.
Assist? Because I'm looking for a path.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. Something to keep in mind is that by putting this on the line, you're also saying that Eric, a possible failure condition could be my supplies breaks.
Ooh.
Yeah, no, that's okay.
Right.
I don't think Danny wears glasses all the time. It's sort of a,
So yes.
for specialized things.
Yeah.
Okay, so then that's 4, and then I have 1 from Quinn.
Right.
Robin will help with assisting in scouting.
Yeah, totally. Scouting the path ahead. Sure.
Okay.
Scouting, helping, pathfinding is very common. I believe Pathfinder has Scout, Hunter, and Weather Watcher already in typical helping. That handout of helpers is supposed to help there and help guide you a little bit in terms of this is what the game suggests that as to help form. Obviously, you can't cover every condition, right, and every thing, but yeah.
I have. Sorry, go ahead, Nicholas.
I was also thinking, depending on pathfinding, if your nature is higher, perhaps.
That would, if you have the skill, you have to roll the skill.
Okay.
Okay. I was just thinking I could try to use my hunter skill with the idea that I would look for paths that other animals have kind of worn out and try to use that to help Danny in finding a way.
Perfect. Absolutely.
Awesome. So got a little bit of help from everyone.
Now, do you have, and you have your supplies.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any traits that you want to call on? For an additional die.
Let me look at my traits. I do have weather sense, if that would be appropriate here.
You have to justify it to me.
Well, you said it's raining.
Right. Don't always just mother may I use this thing. Tell me being like I can use weather sense here because my nose tells me that it's not going to rain for another couple hours, and so if we hoof it, whatever, right?
I would say weather sense allows me to not only let us move at the best times and when it's the most dry, but also gives me a better sense of where to look to find the path, knowing what a washed out path is going to look like.
There you go.
So that's just an extra dice.
Extra die. Yep. That's exactly the type of stuff I would look for when someone says I want to use a trait. That's exactly perfect.
All right. So you roll these.
Mm-hmm. And then I'll roll these 5 yellow and the blue. I got 4.
I got 5.
You beat me. You beat Spring. So you arrive at Dorigift successfully.
Spring is
done.
Dead.
Spring. There's a stake in the heart of Spring.
April is the cruelest month.
So that was my 1 check, right?
That is your check. Correct. But if your goal was to complete it, you definitely spent an action and a check to do it. So let me describe the scene here of Dorigift as you all are arriving. Dorigift. There would be a sign out saying "Welcome to Dorigift," founded in 60-something years ago. However, the town right now is currently under a foot of water, as an old levee broke while you all were taking your time through Copperwood, and the rains have broken it. So everything is in sort of dire straits right now. Nobody's drowning. It's not that sort of problem. However, you can see there's tons of water damage around. Some of the buildings are a little kind of shaky. Mud and things have been kind of surrounded. There's a couple of people just kind of up on the second balconies being like, "Oh, it's the guard! It's the hey guard!" And there's no way you're getting your cart without hauling it through these waters in a very frustrating way, right? Maybe there was the signs of a small fire that were put out recently, but it's not great, right? Sable is also like, "Well, I'd be darned. the heck happened here?
Is there anyone who looks like a leader, a mayor, or a figure of authority? No. Okay.
Nope.
Yell at the closest person on a roof. Hey, you! What happened here?
I mean, if you ask them out, like, where's you have administrator wise, right?
I do.
Oh yeah, then I'll just tell you. Doris is old, and Doris is currently in her house.
Okay.
Is her house underwater?
Yeah.
No, her house is actually one of the nicer houses. It's a little bit higher up. It's kind of
Okay.
it's
So
stone.
it's like on a hill.
Her house is kind of like Dorigift's own little lock haven, where like lock haven's kind of made of stone and a place to fall back. Her house is, as the mayor and founder of this town, is also sort of that area for people.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
it doesn't take you long to realize like the trail of people going in and out of that stone house here is obviously where Doris would be.
Okay.
Right. And I'm just giving you that she's the founder and stuff because administrator wise, you're wise about this stuff. You would know those things. You don't have to ask somebody about this little town. You just kind of know these little facts because you're administrator wise.
Cool. Then I will lead
Governor's
us
wise.
toward Doris's house.
Totally.
What I assume is partially a flow of traffic.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, you get there no problem.
And go in, I guess, knock on Doris's house, if that would be polite in this circumstance.
Yeah. The door just kind of swings open, and you can see there's sort of a flustered gentleman with glasses carrying a bunch of papers around, and you're sitting there for like literally like 2 minutes when everyone else is around, and then you just see one guy kind of come through with all these papers, right? Some of them fall off, and everyone immediately stands up and like, oh, can I get you something? He's like, 1 minute, and like he runs to the other room, and everyone kind of quiets down a second, and you just hear him like shuffling some more papers around, and he comes back, he's like, 1 minute, and everyone like stands up again, trying to like talk to him in the time. Clearly this guy is like completely overwhelmed.
Oh boy.
Then at that moment, Doris comes out holding a cup of tea. She's a big old mug of tea in one hand and a cane in the other. She's wrapped in a couple blankets, and you can see her feet are a little wet. And she's like, "Oh, is that the guard?"
Yes.
Oh, Cliff, you didn't tell me the guard was here. Well, welcome to Dorigift. Sorry, it's a bit of a mess. You're she's like pointing up north towards like the direction of the dike. Your dike went out.
Well, it's not my dike.
Danny, well, it's the mouse. She thinks it's the mouse guard dice. Danny, governor wise, she's mistaken. That is her dike. That is not the mouse guard. That is her responsibility.
Oh. Okay.
This is a matter between the municipal.
But you probably don't want
and
to point
the,
that out.
yeah.
We've been waiting for the repairs, and you can see, yeah, right. She's referring to the collective mouse guard and as the embodiment of it here.
Well, we just here to bring the best bee.
What? Oh yes, I ordered a bee. Yeah.
You did, and we met someone on the road who also had an order for a bee from you.
That's strange. I can only need one queen.
Oh, that's what
Are you
we
sure?
thought as well. But the orders looked correct. Are you sure that something didn't happen and you accidentally ordered two?
Let me tell you what. The only person who makes fewer mistakes than Gwendolyn is Doris.
Well,
come into my house in the middle of a flood. Don't ask how you can help, but immediately accuse me of making mistakes. Good day to you. And she goes inside in her office, but she's going real slow, right? But you just said the wrong thing.
Yeah, apparently. I will walk up a little bit closer and say, I'm sorry. Can we start again? I beg your forgiveness.
I don't know. Does somebody have a check willing to spend it here for this situation? Because this will require some sort of diplomatic kind of persuasion or some kind of role to assuage this situation and get this resolved for sure.
I feel really bad.
What? I said good day. Cliff,
don't feel bad.
Cliff,
No,
I apologize, Cliff. No wonder you didn't introduce me to these ruffians.
No. Hang on. The only social skill I have is to deceive. So unless you want me to lie to this lady, that's the only thing I can do.
No, we could be like, oh, Danny doesn't know what she's talking about. She's so tired.
Oh god.
You can. Well, just because you don't have the skill doesn't mean you can't do it.
Okay.
There's two things you can do in that situation. So
Okay.
I'll talk about this just in the broad sense. I don't know if anyone's going to do it yet or here. But if you don't have the skill, and you're set up a situation where you are going to use a skill where you do not have it, then you have two options. In a longer game, you can begin to learn the skill and you use what's called beginner's luck. But that means you're rolling at like half the root of the die, which would be either health or will, and you're rolling half of that at the start. And it's usually you can't really get much better than that on your own. Other people will help you. But the good news though is when you don't know what you're doing, other people can help you with the root of their skill as well. So like if you're rolling health, other people help you with health too. So it's like if you don't know what you're doing, if everyone collectively doesn't really know what they're doing, it's fine. So that's one way. It's one option. The other option is to use your nature, and you just roll your nature dice. However, again, if you're using your nature in a way that is not climbing, escaping, hiding, or foraging, it will grow down over time. So it'll start at like 4 or 6 or whatever it is, and then if you succeed, it goes down to 5 out of 6, and then might go to 4 out of 6, and it just continues to go down. You don't refresh it until the end of a year, which is a long time. It's very common for your overtime as a player for your nature to go down. But the good news to that, again, I just want to point this out because it doesn't come up. It will never come up in a one shot. But the nature also determines the number of attempts you have to do to learn a skill. Because if you're just like kind of naturally a mouse and gifted and you're relying on that, you're not actually learning the ins and outs of skills. And so it takes you longer to learn skills. So on one hand, you can be like, well, I don't need to learn skills. I can use my nature. And then the other side of the game is, well, if I have a low nature, then I can quickly learn all the skills. Sorry. Anyways.
No.
I think Robin will approach, what was the helper's name?
Cliff,
yeah.
Cliff is the administrator and apiarist of the town.
Oh.
And currently emergency planner.
Yeah. So, Cliff, can I
just a minute?
Can I have a small word with you, please?
Yes. Just one for the guard. Yeah.
Well, have Doris made a lot of mistakes lately?
You gonna bother my time for that? He keeps walking, which is a yes. Right. Like clearly Cliff is like trying to play sweeper right now and like keep things in order, and this is not Cliff's strong suit, and things are bad. Yeah. Oh. Wow, I didn't know the guard produces detectives, he says sarcastically as he's super flustered. Wow.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm a little on edge here. Town's currently underwater, if you haven't noticed.
Yeah.
I'm trying to save these waterlogged archives of like records,
Have any one of you tried to have sort of an intervention? To have someone else, perhaps a few people, so that not just one person is made responsible for everything? And I will look at him.
Yeah, it's like, I can tell that you are the youngest of the mice that have came here, and so I'm going to let you in on what they probably haven't told you and are smart enough not to ask. What's your name? You look like a Robin. Yeah. Okay, Robin. And he gets kind of close to you. Doris built this town with her bare paws 80 years ago.
Yes.
You're going to tell her to step down? Do you want to be the one who tells you that? Yeah. Do you want to be the one who goes, hey, you're getting too old for this? Hey,
sure, I can do that. Yeah, I can do that. And I will start to walk towards Doris.
Okay. The rest of the group, you see her. You will see Robin doing that. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Mentor.
I'm gonna
This doesn't require a check, but yeah, this is just for fun right now.
Well, just like Quinn was like listening to Danny and following Danny and was like sort of going along with what was happening with Doris, and then Robin went off this way to go talk to Cliff, and then and now Robin's coming this way from having spoken to Cliff and is going to Doris, and I think Quinn is just gonna like head it off.
Yeah, well, Robin has sort of a righteous walk.
Yeah, I know.
And you know as his teacher
Yeah.
that
It's
if Robin has a
stress.
righteous walk, you need
And
to
so
intervene
yeah, so
now.
as I see Robin coming over, and I know that they mean business, I like am instead gonna get in their way and go right up to Doris and like even probably somewhat inappropriately, but I've got to stop Robin. Put a hand on like Doris's back and be like, no, excuse me, I'm so sorry. Can we just go into your office? Let's discuss this. You know, there's clearly a misunderstanding here, but there are a few problems and we do need to sort of solve them. So Robin, hold on 1 second. And just like, you know, probably not your fault because I mean, you built this whole heckin' town, but there are a few misunderstandings here, maybe just lost in the paperwork. You know how it is with bureaucracy and shuffle and stuff like that. But there's
He is so old. She hasn't seen a paper print in years.
That was
What did he say?
he said that it's so cold here that there's a lot of work to be done.
Never took the mouse guard for a bunch of wires?
Nope. Yeah, that
Not in my 96 years.
I know it's those young ones. You know, so yeah. I know you understand this. I am lying through my teeth right now.
Right. Well, this doesn't require a check or anything. For that, but yeah, you've set up a really good spot where you can actually like talk to this person, and you can continue to lie to them too. But what's most interesting to me right now is like I want to know if you're willing to put a check on the line here. What's your intention? Like, what would success look like? Like, what do you want out of this conversation?
I'm trying. This is a strong and powerful person who doesn't fully, you know, realize the mistakes they've made, and I think it's a sort of. Well, I don't.
Pride's a hell of a thing. Like, it's hard to tell, right?
Yeah, which is what I don't think they would respond well to like saying you've made a mistake. Let's correct it. I'm giving them an out by saying like a mistake has happened somewhere along the line.
There's also currently an emergency happening in the town. And so maybe blaming somebody at this time isn't always the best idea either.
Yeah. I don't want to no, I'm trying not to I'm trying not to name names. And I'm trying to claim, you know, it's a paper mix-up. It's no one's fault really. These things happen, but you now have two queen bees and a broken dike. So you got a few problems here, and we're here to help. You know what I mean? How do you see this being resolved? We'd like to do this in my I could tell you what I think, but I
you need to give me more. What that's not enough for that. You haven't changed the state of the game. Like you have to commit to something. And like but if you roll the dice and you succeed at it, that's what they believe. Like you have convinced them that at this point in time, that makes sense, right? Assuming it's someone you do is
I got it. Okay.
It's not mind control, but you make a case.
Okay. My items, some of my items are pen, ink, and paper. I pull out a piece of paper and a pen, and I specialize. My instinct is to always draw maps of new locations. So I start drawing this area and where the dike is, and I start drawing boundary lines. And I was like, see, previously the boundary lines of who were responsible were here. However, unfortunately, a while ago it's changed to be here. So you see, it was no longer the mouse guard's responsibility, but you couldn't possibly have known that. That was, you know, like that probably got lost in the kerfuffle. So
using it to point out that she's made a mistake, but in a deceiving long way of drawing a map is chef's kiss. That's amazing. Yes. Yeah. That's brilliant. That's absolutely brilliant. Yeah. Yeah. Let's go with that. That will make her realize that this will come. Her pride is coming down for sure, and that this is happening. Okay. And you're doing in a way that she also won't get really mad at you or the guard.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying for.
Yeah. That's what success will be, right?
And I'm using a few of my skills here because I do have these items, and I do have this instinct to like draw maps, and so I have a brain for maps and stuff like this. So I'm like, explaining it and like, yeah, like this is
So make a cartography test.
okay.
You've been here, so this is Knob 1.
Okay. So if
We
I have
help?
if anyone wants to help, please feel free.
You can help with the cartography. Oh wait, no. Do you have an instinct to help?
Ooh, no, mine just says
so-
anticipate what the patrol leader needs.
But you're not the
So-
patrol leader.
Oh,
Yeah.
sting it!
Oh.
No.
So this is an important part of mouse guard. It's typical in a mouse guard scenario that someone in the team always gets sacrifices their own instinct to be a meta instinct that says always look for people who need help, because when it's an instinct on the line, only other instincts can help the instinct.
Oh shoot.
So you're
so
on your own drawing this map.
Yeah, that's fine. So I get 4 for my cartography, and you said +1.
No, the obstacle is 1.
Oh, okay.
But you have supplies, so you want to use your supplies. Here
Yeah,
for this
so
test.
I'm using my pen and paper and ink.
Yeah,
to,
sure.
like,
You have
really...
5 dice. Yeah, totally. Okay.
Wink. Okay. Boop,
5
boop,
dice.
boop,
Obstacle 1.
boop. What? 1.
You got 1.
I got 1.
Oh! By the hairs on your whiskers length there. Wow. Okay. Nice.
Oh, you
Yeah, but
felt
you
that.
have your map and you have enough supplies and stuff that you can keep doing it for a future test.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Nice. Yeah, so you draw up this map, it's great, and it lends credence to your argument. So it sounds like you're spending your check here to do this, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Danny spent the last one, so you're in the clear to do this one. And you're trying to manipulate them into realizing that they made a mistake.
Yep.
Cool. Cool. So this is going to be a fixed obstacle. This is against just flatly Doris's will, which is 6.
Oofa. Okay.
It's the same as a
Other people can
season.
help. No, it's harder than the season,
Oh,
Sharon, because
no!
I'm not rolling those dice. It's just a flat 6. Because to convince somebody, it means you have to convince against their will.
Oh my gosh.
The little, technically, yeah, I do that because it's like you do in like Burning Wheel. So I'm just stealing it over here.
Well, I can help.
Yeah, other people should help.
Please help me. Please help me. Please help me.
I have Persuader, so I will hop into the conversation, and once this map is drawn, and be like, oh yeah, I mean, clearly there's no way you could have known. I mean, but we're here now, and we'll do everything we can. We just want to make sure that this all gets sorted out. Everything's going to be fine. We will help.
Yeah, totally. You're smoothing things over.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Does anyone else want to help?
I think I can help as well. I have also Persuader and Orator. I don't know.
Orator is addressing a group.
Yeah.
But how would you help that's different than smoothing things over with like pleasantries and being a facilitator? How would your persuasion matter? Like, I agree that persuade could help, but it has to be different than the way that your patrol leader is helping.
I'm gonna be a little bit more bold and point out truth about things that are falling apart, that we need to address this, and then sort of
pointing out the ugly truths.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if you don't if this won't happen, then I mean Dorigift might not be here anymore, as it's just being washed away.
Yeah, you're lucky. Yeah, like pointing out that you're lucky that like this could have been a lot worse.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, totally. Pointing out an ugly truth. Yeah, that counts.
This is kind of going out on a limb, but so I have government-wise. Could I use that to try to just start talking about like various levels of bureaucracy and say, oh, of course, I can see how this is complicated because you had to go through all these different avenues.
Absolutely.
Oh, you had to.
Absolutely.
You'd had to
You're
have,
literally a lobbyist. Like totally. Yeah, Baron, you know that the administration of towns and the laws and how it's frustrating and how these things can be archived. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
100%.
You had to have filled
It's
out
brilliant.
Form 52 on Thursday before 6 p.m.
Oh, but then they go out early because Donna's got soccer practice. So
yes,
it's easy to miss those deadlines.
Knowing the ins and outs of deadlines and things like that is totally within that government's wise, for sure.
Okay.
That's good.
Okay, so everyone has given me one now?
Yeah. Now,
okay.
We still have your persona. Did you want to tap your nature here? That gives you your current nature's worth of dice added to the pool.
You need 6 successes.
Yeah, that puts all of my nature in it.
Yeah, puts all your nature into the pool. It typically will double your pool.
Okay, then yes, I guess.
Okay.
So am I still using my 4 from cartographer, and then and then I get 3 from nature?
Yeah. What color dice do you need more of? Because you're gonna need more dice.
I need
blue dice, right?
More blue. Yeah.
Okay, I'll just copy and paste these.
Thank you.
There you go. That should be enough.
Dang. That's more than enough, I think. 1.
Yep.
2,
Build the pool.
3, and then one of everyone else's color. Right?
Mm-hmm. Was
there anything? That's it.
So to recap here, you're using your supplies of your map, plus your base of your manipulator's deceiver. Whatever, how many dice that is.
Yeah.
How many? 4? What's your deceiver? In the first edition, it's called deceiver, and the second edition is called manipulator. So
it's deceiver. Yeah, it's deceiver. Oh,
the sheet was made in the first edition, which is why it's that way.
Okay, so I have 3 from deceiver, and then I get 1 from my pens and paper, and then I get 3 from my nature.
Is your nature 3?
Yeah.
Yep. So you're getting 3 additional dice. So that gives you up to 6.
And then does my instinct count in this?
No, you get 7, because 3 base 3 plus 1 is 4 plus 3 is 7. So you're at 7.
8.
Then you get 3 more help.
Okay.
So you're at 10. Do you have a trait that can work positively for you?
A trait. I'm being thoughtful here.
Yeah, that you are being thoughtful. So you add a die to it.
Success.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
and you haven't used thoughtful yet, so that works.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Yeah, you should be at 11 dice right now.
Okay, that's what I have right here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then so
you're spending your persona to do this.
Yeah. So does that mean?
No, you gain persona at the end. That's part of how experience works, is whether or not you gain fate points or persona points.
Okay, so my persona goes down to 0.
Yep.
And I check off the used for thoughtful, and that's it for now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And now roll the dice.
Okay.
You need 6 successes.
Big money, no whammies. Oh gosh.
And at least a few 6s otherwise.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
You got the 6. You got the 6 that you needed. So what this looks like is that Dory, so you guys kind of go back and forth, right? I imagine this is something like, if this was in a longer session, this could be something that would be like a great point of a conflict, of an argument conflict that happens, that would really get into the weeds in terms of kind of how the blow up goes. But instead, because this is a one shot, it's all gets abbreviated into one single roll. But we have that sort of scene of that point where she, like, you lay out your case and their statement, and there's that long pause, and you got it. You got it, as she just kind of sips that tea and goes, I see your point. This is, and she kind of she goes out to the window, like one of the windows looking over her flooded town. She says, I don't want to. I know I have to, but I don't want to. You succeeded. She's willing to give up. She knows she needs to step down. And she knows that this is her mistake.
Bad. I feel so bad right now. I feel like a monster. Is there
what was
a
not
damaging
decided?
Point I can take for feeling like a monster?
No, you had to do what needed to be done. is let this person know that they're kind of too old to run something anymore. It's like I've spent my whole. I've been so afraid. I just don't know what I'm gonna do. I've run this town so long. It's and I this. I don't have children. This is my child.
I mean, you can still. I mean, people will still want your wisdom. I think people will still have questions for you, and I think you should still offer up help. But you need some younger eyes catching all the small details.
And not Cliff Notes. He's falling apart.
Yeah, you need like at least 3 more Cliffs.
Yeah, Cliff's the apiarist.
Oh.
Who's actually like the administrator assistant and stuff, because like to be an apiarist you have to be pretty competent administrating, right? You administrate a beehive, you can administrate a town. Is basically the logic, right? No. But yeah, I admit that I guess in my mistake isn't I've also seemed to have requisitioned 2 bees. Since you won that test, she's willing to listen to your case about what to do.
Danny,
she can't have both bees.
Here. Danny, help.
I know, I'm thinking.
You could.
There's only so much leadership I can do. Sorry.
Selling it to the other villages, one of the other villages.
Yeah, perhaps.
Is there another village that could use a bee?
You're governor wise, so I'm gonna ask you to roll a d6. On a 4+, there is.
All right, I will roll a d6.
So 50-50 chance here.
I rolled a blue.
No. There is not a town that needs to be.
Okay, well, never mind.
You'd know that definitively with your wise. I just wasn't sure if there was one or not, and which is why I left it up to the dice there for a minute.
Okay. There's no way to put 2 bees in one town.
No. Someone has to go back with a bee.
Yeah. Okay.
Politically, this will make Spruce Tuck kind of a little angry at Lockhaven, but nothing like, no one's going to rebel over anything, over a bee, but like, it's kind of a snub, but also. Do you want to tell Gwendolyn? You want to give Gwendolyn this L? I don't know.
No. So I would say
if we go back with our bee, then no one will help fix things here.
Oh.
Yeah. Why don't we? Go ahead.
I was going to say, also something to keep in mind, optics wise. It could be said that the Mouse Guard strong-armed Doris into retiring and then installed a bee here because they're tyrants.
But we've also come to help with a problem.
I'm just saying that's what someone could say.
Oh, man.
Okay, since I'm idealistic and generous,
you could make a speech and make it so that would never happen, and everyone here would think that's true.
Orator.
But that requires a check.
Check, Robin, go for it.
The town
Robin.
also needs your help, and
exactly.
Stand up on a table.
You don't have enough. I don't think you don't have enough checks to get everything done that you want. So, like, where do you want to take the L?
I have a thought.
Yeah.
If we tell the Sable to take the bee back to Lockhaven while we clear things up, that means we save face for...
Lockhaven doesn't need a queen.
But that's where we picked it up, right?
We're from Lockhaven. That's where RB is from.
But this queen is from the queen, like the Lockhaven spawn.
Yeah. But I was thinking
a queen from a different spawn would be not accepted. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, think of like they're like breeds, like they're prestigious livestock. They're like thoroughbred horses, right? Like the queens of hives are thoroughbreds with pedigrees.
So I'm from
Spruce Duck.
Spruce
Yeah.
Duck. Can I just have like a private word with Sable? And
Sure.
just like pull Sable aside and say, listen, we had a conversation with Doris. It seems like with everything that's been going on here and the confusion, 2 bees got ordered and requested somehow.
Well, I can see that.
I love Spruce Talk dearly. It's where I'm from. And I would really appreciate it if you would do me just a personal favor and take the bee back to Spruce Talk. We can't go back with our bee to the matriarch.
Oh, you think I can? You think I can go back with the bee to Spruce Tuck? You know what it's like. Couldn't do it.
I understand. I know it's difficult. I mean, I will personally come there and help you set things to right.
And that's all it will ever be unless you're willing to have a check and commit this to fiction.
I do not have a check, so
no can do. No offense to you,
none
Danny,
taken.
but I think you got plenty enough work here to take care of first before you start promising work elsewhere.
Well, that wasn't promising in a professional capacity. That was promising in a personal capacity.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
I'll go back and tell everyone that did not work.
No, not without a persuasive test to them to commit, because they want this just as much as you do. And without some sort of test with a roll where you're committing resources to it, they're like a valuable check. They're not going to leave without some sort of something.
I do not have any more checks, or I would have committed one. So.
Well, I think you've used your check to get here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Danny used your check to get here. Who else has done?
Do
Obviously,
I have
Rob. Quinn has used her.
Yeah. So do I have 1 check that I can use or 2?
I think you have 2 because you were compassionate.
Mm-hmm.
And you're compassionate with the bees, and you also start with 1, so you should have 2.
Okay, so then can
You could donate a check.
Yeah, could I donate my check to the patrol leader for this? Sorry,
yeah, totally.
I'm a little behind on.
No, you're good. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I also have been removing the checks. You're doing it.
Okay, then in that case, I would like to try to persuade Sable to go, and I do have Persuader. So this is very much just like I would really take it as a personal favor, and I would owe you 1 if you do this.
Sure. Difficulty 4.
Okay. I have.
No, I'm sorry. This is going to be a versus test because she's going to also persuade that it's in your best interest that you should just talk to Gwendolyn about it because Spruce Duck really needs this, and then it's going to be a versus test, and whoever wins this is convinced that the other person's right for this time.
Okay. Alrighty.
So you're going to go against you're going against 5 dice.
Okay. I have 5 dice in Persuader.
So you're starting at 5.
Yep.
Other people can help you, right?
Yep.
Do you also have any supplies or traits do you think that can help you out here?
Right now.
Right. This might be 5 versus 5, and you just gotta hope. You could burn your persona for your nature if it's that important. Oh, speaking of which, you did your nature.
Yeah, so I need to put it down to 0.
It goes down by 1.
Oh, okay.
Even a successful roll that's outside of your nature reduces your max current nature by 1. So I think it should be 2 out of 3 now.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry. Okay.
No, it's fine. So I am a leader, so I would like to use my natural charisma and my ability to get other people to follow me and do what I want.
Yeah.
To convince Sable.
Right. Cool. So let's roll back time a little bit about what Sable ended up saying to you, since it's going to end up being a roll, right? So now you're saying, like, as a personal favor, as a patrol leader, as someone who can swing this stuff, it's carrying that weight.
Yeah.
Right. In my head, at least. Yeah.
I am a patrol leader of the Mouse Guard, which is, status, and I owe you a favor.
Yeah. Okay.
Totally. We have this is a skill
she
check.
She takes off her hat and it's like, a favor, so yeah, okay. Cool. I'm sorry, I cut off Jess. What were you saying?
It's okay. It was for I was just trying to figure out about help, but it's okay.
Oh. Does anybody have any help?
Does it have to be a skill?
Or a wise, because we're using a skill. Danny's using Persuader here, so you should probably help with Manipulator or some sort of wise.
Can I stack Leader Wise on top of?
You can't. When you're the person making the roll, wises help you with fails and fixing. Right. It helps you fail less than succeed more.
Fair.
I was trying to think of something because I'm also from Spruce Tuck. But.
No.
You had Deceiver, right?
I have Deceiver. How would I? How?
Look, that's you tell me.
I know that's what I can't.
What would Quinn do, or Baron? Yeah.
Taking it back might put Spruce Tuck in favor with Lockhaven as a sort of.
I was gonna say, could I try using? I would like to try to use Lockhaven Wise to kind of give an idea of how connected Danny is in the big stronghold.
Oh, absolutely.
All of the favors that she might be able to pull that you wouldn't be able to get from Spruce Tuck.
Oh yeah, totally. Oh yeah, I like that a lot. Totally.
Okay, then for Deceiver, can I just kind of edgewise in there and not even directly to her, but almost like I'm just, I heard a rumor that they've already accepted RB. So if you do this graciously, it'll be so much better on you. If you
my god, you're doing the sales thing. Oh my god, you're doing that sales thing where you're like, hold on, I just got off. I have another call or whatever.
No,
I just got the person, and then are you willing to do 250? They're doing 200. That you're doing that thing, right? That's what it sounds like.
So you could almost make this be about your decision, not theirs. If you just control the narrative a little, it's happening. Yeah. So just I feel terrible.
No, totally. You gotta act fast now.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, no, you're oh, that's so good. That's such a good manipulate. Oh my god, I've never heard anyone in the game do that before, and that's so good.
No,
That's such a good. You are a monster. You're sure. No, you're a hero.
Deliver this bee.
Lovely.
Can I help with what I want to help with Weather Watcher? And go, can we please hurry this up? I mean, there is a sort of a heavy rainfall coming, so we need to fix the levee before the dike before,
levee, yeah.
Or all of us might be, washed away, and then
no one gets any bees.
I keep exchanging dike and levee. I think they're the same thing anyways.
Yeah.
Slightly different, but it's not a lot.
So we have, and then
yeah, time's a wasting.
Yeah. I don't know why I'm doing that. I don't, but it's
I know what you
international
mean.
Side.
Yeah. No, they're from Spruce Tuck. I'm sure if any town has multiple little clocks, like little pocket watches, it would be Spruce Tuck Inns. Spruce Tuck Tuckites? I don't know. Whatever.
Spruce-Tuckians.
Spruce Tuckians.
Yeah.
That gives me 9 to roll
Okay. Against 5.
against 5.
Do it.
Let me assemble this here.
I got 2.
You have to be.
Well, I
2.
really hope I can do better than that.
Please be 2.
But I'm not gonna say that I will.
There's a very strong trend whenever I have to roll versus test. I roll very poorly. I roll below average. You are good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. You got it in the clear. So Sable's willing to accept this and be like, dang it, okay, but give me that favor.
Absolutely. As I said, I owe you one. Thank you so much.
Right. Dorigift is getting Lockhaven's B.
Aha!
And in a future one shot, you would have to be doing that favor at the worst possible time. Yes.
That's the way it works.
Amazing.
Yeah. Awesome.
I want to help fixing the flooding.
Yeah, I was gonna say I also want to help like build a dike.
Sure. Yeah. So there's 2 ways you could really help the town here. That are ways that are essential to helping the town. The first one is, yes, organizing the effort and actually constructing this dam or this dike or the levee, whatever, right? Just a wooden earthen structure that retains water away from, flooding everything. The second one would be some sort of administration check of helping Cliff out with administering the rest of the town and the records and getting everyone what they need. Like a much more like higher level project managery level than, per se of someone, hauling someone's couch out of the water, right? You are like that. Those, I guess you could do that other way because it's checks and it's kind of on you. But like to me, those are like the big ones. If you want to say I fixed Dorigift, like that would be the 2 ways you do it. But if you want to say like, well, I helped some people of Dorigift, then it's like I moved a friend's couch up to the 2nd floor so it doesn't get water, right? But like if you want to put a good message for the no one except for that lone mouse with the couch is going to be like, I love the mouse guard. unless you do something that's bigger and
I love you
right?
too, Couch Mouse.
You know what I mean? So something like that.
Well, Robin, what did you have in mind?
I did have in mind to sort of rally around some people and helping fix the ditch so that it actually doesn't flood over as much. But that might be more of a carpentry thing. And
Yeah.
You're good at that, though.
I was
So
go ahead.
Yes, so if you do that, and then I can do the whole, trying to get some other people around and do
The
administrative things.
Okay, yeah, that sounds like a good split. So I would be trying to use my carpenter skill. That would be I have carpenter and stonemason, but carpenter might be more appropriate.
The previous one was made out of wood,
Okay.
but it's broken, so that's a great time to start if you want to do stone.
Okay, sure. I'm trying to kind of spearhead an effort and make the mouse guard look really good.
Yeah.
And stone would be more permanent, so I guess I'll try to do a stonemason check.
Absolutely.
I don't know if that's the correct way to say it.
No, that's right. No,
okay.
you're nailing it.
So I'd like to try to use a stonemason check to kind of rebuild the levee this time a little stronger and sturdier.
Totally. Let me see. I'm looking at the obstacles for stonemason, so I give you the one that makes sense here.
Mm-hmm.
So you're building stonemason. You're technically building a pretty simple structure here. You're kind of building a wall.
Mm-hmm.
However,
a well-placed wall.
However, you're building something that's big, like a foundation.
Yes.
So the complexity is providing 1 obstacle, and the size here is providing 3. So this is going to be an obstacle 4 stonemason test.
Okay, I have 2 stonemason dice.
I feel like when the levee breaks, it's playing when you're doing this. So.
I keep thinking.
Yeah.
Other people can help you in this test too, right?
Okay.
Including Robin.
Can I,
it's not. You're not precluded to help in this situation.
Can I help with persuade? I'd like to, walk around the town and talk about how fantastic Baron is at this, and how if everyone in some effort and really helps Baron, she'll be able to build them a levy that's far superior to the one that they had before.
So you described helping with orator because you're talking to a crowd. Unless you wanted to persuade someone particular to be like, hey, get a group because Baron's great.
Well, okay. Is there a local stonemason or a
no, there's no stonemason in this town. This town's too small for a proper stonemason.
Yeah, you said there's literally one stone house, so they would not have a lot of work.
Okay, good.
No.
But do they have any crafts people?
Yeah, they got a carpenter here.
Yeah, so I'll go to the carpenter then and talk to the carpenter about hey, if you can send your people and like help Baron's going to make you an even better levy out of stone.
Yeah, and just that's helping with persuade.
Basic skills that you have.
Yeah, good. And that's how you play Mouse Guard. And you're like, well, should I just describe something else? Well, then hold on, twist. Let me do it this way. Then it's not, and it's just a persuade of the person that you want. Yeah, exactly. Well done. That's it.
I want to use my cartographer to draw out a detailed blueprint of exactly where the lay of the land makes sense for us to do it, because especially like walking the land,
you have the map.
no. Yeah, I'm gonna be like, listen, this part right here, it's gonna erode. No good. Like it's gotta go right here. Otherwise,
you help with cartographer in the planning there.
Totally.
I'll help with survivalist and making makeshift tools so that everyone can help building this thing.
Hell yeah.
Y'all, we just played Mouse Guard. We all just figured out how to Mouse Guard.
You just did it. You just did it. Look at this. At the end of the session, you're all acting as a team, helping each other, going out using your strengths. Look at this. This is brilliant.
We're amazing.
Yeah. Cool. So Baron, where we're at.
So I have 5 dice right now, 2 from my skill and 1 from each of my my patrol group. Yeah. And could I use my watchful trait to help with this?
Oh, absolutely.
Being very alert. And I don't think I have any gear that would be useful, but I could use my persona to persona point, right?
Don't you have stones maker supplies or something?
I just have a wood carving kit, unfortunately.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so 1 more die from watchful, and then another 5 dice from nature.
Baron, you're tapping your persona to add your nature. So what's your current nature? 4 or 5?
5.
5. So you're adding 5 more dice.
1, 2, 3, and then I need 3 more yellows.
Yeah.
Wait, 2 more yellows.
And
2 more yellows.
Assuming you succeed, your current nature will go down by 1.
Cool. Okay. I'm just gonna borrow 2 more white dice.
Sounds good. I could make more yellow, but that's fine. Okay.
And then random side. There's a lot of 1s.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
1, 2. Those are 3.
No.
And I described it as a 4.
No.
So, before we lament, remember, let's talk about wises. Do you have a relevant wise?
That
could help shield you from favor.
The fate point, you can, because there's a 6 there.
I'll describe that as well. Yeah. Nicholas has nailed it. There's something else you can do if you don't have a relevant wise, and we haven't spoke about this, but it's called open ending your 6s, which makes your 6s explode. So any die that you rolled a 6, you can roll it again for an additional die, and if you get a 6, it explodes again. So there's a way to get extra dice by spending a fate to re-roll that 6 for additional successes.
Okay.
And
I suppose I could try to use my government-wise,
I mean, it's how you think you want to do it here. I would tell you mechanically, you're slightly better off. I mean, each of those is you're going to be rolling one die anyways,
sure.
and you only need one die. So, do you want to do it by open-ending your sixes, or do you want to use your governor wise to help you?
I guess mechanically, opening up my sixes would be better. I mean, mathematically, that would be a little better, right?
Yeah, you only need one more. Yeah, you just need one more though. But yeah, that's. I did the same thing in my head. I was like, oh, that's obviously the better one to do. But it was wait, you only need one. So.
Okay. So I just take this pink one and then.
You spend your fate point to do this. Yeah.
Okay.
That's a success.
Yay! All right.
Okay, so you have in place the beginnings of a long-term solution to this dam problem. Obviously, you can't build a dam in a day, right? But you have it. You've done all the hard work of getting it started, and then the townsfolk can just continue to just put the stones on top of it and cover the rest with earth, right? So it's protected. Well done. The town will not flood again next time it rains. That's amazing. Good job.
So Robin has something else too, right?
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm probably then in Doris' hut where there are, organizing some people to fix the paperwork and make sure that sort of
with Cliff and stuff, right? The office. Yeah.
Cliff and I will also attempt to get some other people who can't work on the wall to actually help as well. So people, Quinn has always said that you need to have right people for the right job. That usually implies other people. So we need to form some sort of a committee that can help alleviate all the paperwork. So that, look at Quinn. Look at Cliff. Look at him. Look, he's falling apart. And Cliff, what is it you do normally?
I'm the apiarist. Normally, I take care of bees. There's a reason I stay away. I like taking care of bees. I hate people.
Is there a lot of paperwork in bees? Do they have,
not as much as people
to form?
No. Kind of making it up. I'm kind of flying on the seat of my pants here.
This is a bad choice. This is not the right person in the right spot, okay? We need to find another one.
What do you propose?
Yeah, so I'm going to use orator to get people to step up. And what are you good at? Come up, step up, and for the sake of your community, so that it doesn't fall apart. And that
publicly shaming Cliff so someone else takes the job. Okay.
Yeah, so that can go back to not having that much to do with people, and that Doris can be
amazing,
bear pawing her way into history.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, totally.
So
so let's talk about this order test. Yeah.
I have 2 dice from orator.
Cool. This is a difficulty 3 test.
I would like to help as instructor, because Robin was literally calling upon my instruction as part of what they were saying. They were literally using my words, and I want to be like, yeah, I do say that. Like, that's great. Those are good words you chose.
That's amazing. Yes.
I'm assuming that when you said that meant implied that I was the one that had to do the job you wanted me to you were taxed to do, because I was clearly the right person to do your job as a mentor.
You're doing a good job right now, little buddy.
Because you have deceiver and rather than
Yeah,
Yeah.
you tell them good truths, and I'll just stay over here and wait till we have to lie about it.
Good cop, bad cop.
I will use administrator wise to assist in this circumstance because we're
You can vet candidates.
Yeah, exactly. Robin is trying to find good candidates to help the town and make sure that everyone is assigned to a position that is beneficial. So I will help vet and provide them with as much guidance as I can on who would be a good fit for.
Perfect. Totally. That's amazing. Yeah. All right.
That's very similar to what I was going to say about government-wise. Okay.
You got to help somewhere other way.
While you think, I will say that I will also be using the trait idealistic.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm...
You're relying on random people to step up, which is idealistic as hell. Yeah. So this is the definition of idealistic.
You're trusting
Wow, can I get
good.
A volunteer? You're asking a group of people for a volunteer to something that they're going to get blamed for if something goes wrong.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh boy.
This is fun. Hopefully this is kind of fun, like discussing how to what would I say? How would I do this?
Okay.
Oh.
I also have Deceiver as a skill. I just... Oh, no.
Be the chaos gremlin you want to be.
You can be chaotic good. Like, it's still...
Do it.
Fly some good into the world. Come on.
Boy. The problem is that I'm not very good at lying, like in real life. So I'm
Yeah.
come up with some manipulative things to say.
I mean, you don't have to help if you can't come up with anything. So.
Yeah. You don't want
to. Because I will also tap my persona to use nature.
All right. Yeah, you're at 3 dice. Or you're against Ob 3.
Yeah.
It would be stretching it a little far to say I use my stonemason to make a metaphor about laying down. We all went and made a foundation. Okay, all right, sure.
No, I think that's government wise. I would allow it because that's so corny that's totally that. But you're relying on the fact that you just led other people to successfully build this mason, and you're relying on that. But that comes off as government wise.
Okay.
I'll give that to you actually because you did succeed.
Wise? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And really though, it's not really what you said. It's the fact that you're speeding up in favor of this after successfully leading people. You're basically like being a spokesperson of someone who's accomplished something well. Right? Okay. You're lending credence to their argument just by basically being
building on our successful policy from before. See our other successful policy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Or if you want to tie that into the deceiver, you're the person that runs around in the audience and going, "Yeah, we should totally do that." Yes, we should. But yeah, I'm gonna roll all of these dice then.
Oh yeah.
No problem.
7.
No problem at all. You get the help that you need to help get Dorigift back on track. Look at that. Well done. And I think we're out of checks.
Yeah.
I think so.
The last one.
Friends, can I say something? I don't want to see a paperwork for at least 2 months now.
Yeah, by the end of it, you all are exhausted.
Fair.
Yeah, that's super valid.
Awesome. Cool. All right, and that would be the mission of Mouse Guard for today. The last thing to do would do experience, and while it's a one shot, it doesn't add anything to it. I would like to kind of go over it real quick though.
Yeah.
If it's all the same.
Sure.
So the first part here is it's going to be sort of how you gain extra fate points and persona points back. So this is something we ask everyone individually, and let's pick one person to go first, and we'll ask all the questions, and then this way we can go in order. Everyone else can follow the same pattern of questions. So who wants to just volunteer themselves first to hear about?
I can do that. I can do that.
Awesome, thank you. So you earn a fate point if you acted on your belief this session. Did your any point in this game reflect your belief?
Yes, my belief is I must embody the true ideals of the guard.
Sure. Tell me when you think you acted on your belief this session for that.
I did it when I helped a person that are Sable, because we had competing goals in that, but I still helped them.
That is being selfless, and that is definitely part of the guard's oath. Yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah.
You helped build their wagon and help them, despite that you might have been burned later on. Totally. Hell yeah! So that's fate point for you for that. Did you complete your goal, or did you work towards your goal?
My goal was the queen needs to be protected.
You accomplished your goal. You protected them with your fighter test.
Yeah.
For helping with fighter and stuff. So you earned a persona point for your goal. And then did your instinct come into play?
Yes. I knitted a hat.
Yes. So you earned a fate point. So you earned 2 fate points and a persona point for your character. Cool. Those are the questions. How about someone else?
I could try.
Okay. Did you act on your belief?
I don't know. All possibilities should be explored for the well-being of the guard. I mean, we tried a bunch of different scenarios in all our... Is that kind of what it means? Like, that's how I'm reading into it.
I think it reflects a sort of thoughtfulness.
Yeah.
And that you don't jump to a decision.
Yeah. And I feel like there was a few times where we discussed a few different outcomes and then came to a decided conclusion. And so I think that kind of fits that.
Okay. Yeah, so you earn a fate point for that. What was Quinn's goal?
As a mentor for my students to succeed me, like to go above and beyond,
to make sure your students on. Yeah. Do you think you accomplished that goal?
I think well, Robin's was my previous mentee, and I feel like in the beginning we started and both Barrett and Robin were like being like young and impulsive, but they both did some like really awesome mature things by the end. And I feel like Quinn is like standing there like, yeah.
Proud.
Like
Robin used your words to help.
I know, Robin literally used my words
and helped fix Dorigift. Absolutely, right? Like that's your crowning achievement. It's like, yeah, no, actually, like Robin's still a little hot-headed and like, you know, let's do it, let's go. Leroy Jenkins energy, but he also pulled through, or they also pulled through, right? They also got the job done with a great speech.
Yeah.
That's lovely.
So for that one, I get a persona point or a check?
Yes, persona.
Okay.
And then your instinct. Did your instinct come into play?
Always draw maps of all new locations through which our patrols traverse.
There you go. Instinct fate point.
Yeah.
Cool.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I kind of designed this mission to help get most people's stuff in that first one. It's not always guaranteed you get all these things. That's good. Cool. Who wants to go next?
I'll go next. Okay. So my belief was I'll build a good name for the Mouse Guard.
Yeah, I think you did.
Which is interestingly different from personifying the ideas of the mouse guard.
Yes. Welcome to Mouse Guard. Yes, very much so. You definitely gave a good name for them. You built the new dam, right?
I love that the term that you have in your thing is build, and you literally were building stuff, and like that's within your skill set. That's super cute.
It was very good. So definitely Fate point.
Okay.
No.
Goal was the one that we got to write down ourselves, right? Or, okay. So mine was prove my capability in front of the patrol leader. So.
Well, I guess the question has to be answered by Danny.
I think you've definitely proved your capability by starting on this dam and acting very maturely and helping us save this town. So I would say yes.
Nice. Okay. So you gain a persona for accomplishing your goal. Tell us about your instinct.
My instinct was anticipate what the patrol leader needs. And I don't think I did a clear example of playing to this session. So
no. Okay. Yeah. Nope. So nothing for that. Okay. That leaves our patrol leader. Look at you going last, letting everyone else go first, too.
Oh, so mature.
So my belief was reason is the best guide to the right action. And I think that came up a couple of times, especially when we were talking to Sable early on and trying to figure out what we could do. And we determined that there was nothing that could be done really until we got to Dorigift.
Yeah.
And that was the right thing to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Fate point. What about your goal?
My goal was I will take Robin under my wing and guide them. And I feel like I did help Robin in some circumstances, especially toward the end when Robin was doing their big oration to try to get everyone in town assigned to a job and invested in helping the town out. And I just was able to kind of hover behind and point out things that were helpful and guide that endeavor.
Oh yeah, definitely.
My instinct, I don't think really came in. It was check the weather early each morning.
Yeah, that's partial. I think that's something I should have pointed out to us earlier on, is that you have an instinct that would have helped, like right when leaving the town, about checking the weather. That's on me.
Gotcha. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
But yes, like getting a free weather watcher test. So this is something we didn't really discuss in the game, and I'll just spend a quick minute on it. Is that as a character with weather watcher, you can literally control the weather through the year. So you can tell me what the next set of weather is going to be, and I give you a list of the ones for the season. However, keep in mind that if you pick certain things continuously, like you pick rain or you pick no rain, then next season I'll be like, cool, there's a drought because you kept picking that rain, or that kind of stuff, right? There's sort of a downside to it. But yes, you can basically dictate what type of conditions are coming in because you know the weather and you know when to act.
Makes sense.
And if you fail, it can be spectacularly fail.
Yeah, it could be very bad. So awesome. The last things to do would be there's sort of group experience that gains persona. Would be like the most valuable player, be the person who like did that one great thing. I think mutually exclusive to that is the workhorse, who would be the person who helped, who at the right moment, who had all the right help, who had the right skill for the right job at that time when everything was tough. And then the last person would be the embodiment. Who do you think like role played their character in a way that's like super shining of them, which is kind of hard to do in a one shot. But like we don't have to worry about these for a one shot. But in a long term game of Mouse Guard, all of those three are persona worthy awards that get dealt out at the end of each session. So okay, so that's Mouse Guard. Thanks for playing. Pretty good,
amazing.
Right?
It's so cute.
That was really fun. Thank you.
Yeah,
that was.
I really liked it. I really liked how you all learned. And I'll stop speaking. I'm sorry. I really, really, really liked how at the start you're all like, it's that new session quietness. I'm not sure what to do. And then by the end of it, you're like, no, I got my character. We're doing all these things together and it's working together and we're doing this stuff together. And I have a better, strong sense of my character now by the end of it. And watching that happen and being here as you all are learning it's a delight. It's kind of like I like teaching games and watching people play games, especially my favorite ones. So that's nice. Thank you all.
Yeah, for your part, like I think you were a very good teacher and you helped explain things very clearly and in a way that was very engaging and helped us pick up on like the broader structure of how the game worked.
Yeah.
I think you did a really great job. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. It's not an easy game to necessarily learn like in a one-shot situation. This is a game that you'll like, oh, I finally get it after like fully in like 5 sessions. You're like, oh, okay. Right. There's always it's interesting. I compare it to Blades in the Dark so much because so much of Blades has similar DNA.
Very similar.
You're like, oh, and this is why entanglements are important. And you're like, I don't understand why the relationship between nature and skills is important. Right. Like there's these little like parts of the mechanics that don't reveal themselves until much later. And you're like, oh, that's genius. Right. It has that sort of same energy. So it's makes it difficult to explain, but you all are champions. And so I appreciate you all didn't feel super lost about it.
I thought this was super good. Like Sharon said, I think you did a really good job of like teaching, like making it a session that seemed intentionally teachable. Like it almost felt like it was built for teaching. Like it felt very good, and it wasn't the sort of thing it like because I think both me and Nicholas have said we've both like approached this system before, and there's a lot of like parts that just sort of you get stuck on and stuff like that, and like. This was really good that we, because normally you get really nervous to come into a full one shot and not know anything of the mechanics, but this
Right.
was really good. Like it unfolded very naturally.
Yeah. By the way, chat, I gave them nothing.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was saying I have tried GMing it twice, I think. But you really learn a lot more if you start out as a player in the system, because this is a game where you need to see from the other side as well.
Interesting.
It's one of those that really hard to learn how to grasp by just reading.
It's really interesting mechanically.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it does explain things better than Burning Wheel.
It does do a better job of explaining it.
Yeah. When I was at PAX Unplugged, I picked up the Mouse Guard book, paged through it, and I was like, I think I kind of get it, but I'm not sure. And then I picked up the Burning Wheel book, and I was like, oh, I don't get this at all.
Fair enough. Let's go around and say goodbye to everyone. Why don't you tell people your name, where they can find you, if you're doing anything cool right now, and you could do a favorite moment, your favorite, most mousiest moment. And we'll go in reverse order from what we started with. So we'll start with Sharon.
Okay. Bye, everyone. You can find me. I'm Sharon. You can find me at @Chu_Baka on Twitter. For announcements, I will post more details up on my Twitter, but Megan Lynn FTW invited me to play in her GM list game For the Queen, ironically, at the end of this month on February 25th on a different channel. I'll post it later. My favorite moment is still Quinn's salesman pitch with deceiver check, because that was a stroke of genius and really, really great. Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Nicholas?
Yeah, I'm Nicholas. You can find me at Nyvinter at Twitter. I don't have much to plug. And my favorite moment, the one I also thought about was, the salesman pitch. Because I am also a trash person. But yeah, I also like the whole perhaps we shouldn't help this person in the beginning.
Gotta grow from somewhere. You can't just
Yeah.
start good.
Fair enough. Eric.
Cool. Yeah, thanks everybody. I'm Eric Vulgaris everywhere. This is a pleasure. I'm so glad everyone had a great time. You can find me at my own channel on Monday nights. I play a game of Pendragon, which is quickly becoming my newest favorite game. If Burning Wheels Feudal Simulator, Pendragon is Arthurian Fantasy Simulator, and it's very, 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 very good. I can talk about Pendragon literally forever. It's blowing my mind how good it is.
I've never played it, but I've everyone that has the same, you know, it's blown my mind. Please play it, and I'm okay.
It's one of those weird offshoots of games that doesn't really, I don't know, like it just sat around forever, and like no one ever really did anything with it other because it just was so self-contained. But it's a really old game. It's had many different editions, but it's so good.
Interesting. Did you have a favorite moment in the game today?
Today, I'm just gonna bandwagon here. Yeah, you literally blew my mind as a player. Like that was so good.
Why? It was so terrible.
No, it was sleazy, but it was brilliant. Like we were all coming up with ways to help, and like that was the best way of using Deceiver in a way that also didn't like throw off everyone's plans. Because typically people try to help by getting rid of the moment. Because you were trying to like, I don't know, it was just so good. And also your map, like let them. Fine, I'll change it. I think you using your instinct to have the map and getting Doris to realize on her own by like manipulating the scene with the map, like that was genius.
Oh man,
it was a very delicate situation, which you handled perfectly.
Exactly, you handled it very, very diplomatically. That was brilliant. It was so nice. That you have a very good brain.
No.
Yeah, it was very, very cool to see.
Don't I'm not letting my brain hear you say that. That's rude. No.
Let us compliment you.
No. Danielle, it's your turn.
Hi. So I'm Danielle at Raconteur on Twitter and Twitch. You can catch me a couple of places right now playing games. I'm over on Roll for Change. It's Roll 4 with the number 4, where we are raising money for the ACLU with our games. I am playing on Friday nights at 9 p.m. in a Dresden Files RPG game that takes place in Portland, Maine. Very fun, uses the Fate system. And then I'm also playing on Saturdays at noon in a Star Wars game where we are a band of vagabonds, also using Fate. So if you like Fate or you want to help raise money for the ACLU, you can come find us there. And favorite moment, that opening check was wonderful in every way, just from getting to really have our first dive into the game. But also what a wonderful mental image of a bunch of mice just tackling these bees that are like half their size.
But gently.
Yeah, gently though. Someone said like bee retrievers or something like that. Great. I love it.
Oh yeah, the dog-sized bees and people in chat.
Robio was a good one too.
Yeah, we're here at the Robio now. Perfect. Amazing. Thank you all so much for playing this. It was so much fun. Eric, I still can't believe you agreed to run this game on a panel at PAX U. Like, yep, this is happening now. That was amazing. Thank you so much for bringing us this awesome game and walking us all through it. I feel so much more comfortable with this system, and I'm gonna try and re-tackle my mouse guard books, honestly.
Yeah.
So thank you so heckin' much. I was also gonna say the bee wrangling at the beginning was one of my favorite things. I was really trying to figure out how to like help with that situation, and my character had a pipe on them, And at first I was like, is that like a musical instrument pipe or is it like a smoking pipe? And we were supposed to smoke the bees, so I was debating being like, well, smoke them if you got them, and then like trying to, but I didn't, because but I really loved the bee rodeo, and I really I like that I got to help in one situation by literally being like, hey, it's raining outside. That's it. Accept my help now. This game is so heckin' cute, and I really appreciate all y'all playing this. It was a heckin' ton of fun. So if anyone is still here, hi, my name is Jess. This is my channel. Thank you so much. You can hang out with us here all the time. We play so many games, and I'm always happy to trick people like Eric and all these other cool people into coming and playing on the channel. See, this is my actual deceiver skill in real life. Haha. So that's why y'all thought I was good at it, is because that's what I do. But yeah, please come back, play more games with us in the future. On Friday we are showing off the Mall Kids game, which is an indie TTRPG that is currently in the Kickstarter, like Zine Quest, for its next book. On Saturday, speaking of Blades in the Dark, we're returning to our new Blades in the Dark game, where we try and flip the whole heist system on its head by being a bunch of nerds from the university trying to recollect artifacts, instead of just stealing things. Instead of just straight up stealing things, we're telling ourselves we're doing it for the greater good, and other stuff like that. So yeah, thank you all so much. I think we will go share the love over at Tales from the Grim, who are currently playing the Witcher game, because they're heckin' cool. So I'm gonna put the raid command in chat, and please feel free to come along. Oh, don't forget your own game jam. Oh yeah, I'm hosting a game jam. Thanks so much, Kat. I forgot. It's almost over. It's called the Fraudulent Gaze Game Jam. It's over on itch.io. You can feel free to check it out. Thank you, Kat. I think Kat just literally entered a game into it. And it's literally about being whatever heckin' kind of gay you want and not letting people tell you what to do. And I already entered a little travel brochure pamphlet game that you can play in like 2 minutes. That's literally about taking a second to yeet gross people into the sun. It's called Into the Sun. It's a really small little game where you just take a minute and like stress relief by getting rid of gross people from the planet. Just as you do. So yeah, so go over on itch.io and check out all the people putting games into that cool jam. Feel free to put one in yourself. And yeah, thank you all so much. This was absolutely amazing. Y'all are the best. I hope everyone has a good night, and we'll see you all later. Bye.